over there. Right
Regvolution?
Regvolution, yes, exactly. It's been a delight over there. But yeah, at the aquarium, Pat and I get to be on all of our social media channels, and in particular, we have our own Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/MontereyAQ, where we stream our animal cams during the day, and then we try and hop in and actually play video games ourselves, usually much more slowly and worse than over here on GDQ.
Barely.
Wait, you've been on this show before. Surely you realize.
Yeah, again, that's true of the other days of the week, but not here on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, we're just as bad.
But yeah, we have a tiny team, but part of that team is also Patrick. Patrick, hello.
Hello. Yes, thank you so much for having us. Sorry, thanks so much for having us once again here, part of the aquarium. My name's Pat. I'm been on the social media. What's that? Oh, buoy? Yeah, I'm messing it up. Well, welcome, everybody. My name's Pat, part of the social media team at the aquarium. R2 Gen2 in the chat is one of our aviculturists extraordinaire. If you have any bird questions, throw them over there. And if you have any words, those are also for the birds there, because bird is the word. That was a horrible attempt. We're just going to move right along. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this Ocean Week. We've had so much fun already, so much pun as well. So hopefully we can see about breaking our speed pun records as well. And yeah, just want to say that we've got a few rewards on our Tiltify there. We're raising some funds for the aquarium. Our mission is to inspire conservation of the ocean. And we have been closed up until recently. We were closed last year because of the pandemic for 14 months. Just now reopened, but all of your support is going to help us bridge that gap of the loss of funds that we had last year. So all of your donations go directly to the health and safety of our animals, taking care of them, as well as all of the science that we do. I'm really loving Richard's moving of the Patrick Mola Mola in a very bobbing fashion. I love the sine wave going. I'm the Mola Pat. Going by. This is wonderful. But yeah,
if you want to see Pat as an actual mola, that is one of the rewards.
It is, yes. So we have rewards on our Tiltify. We're very close to the $1,000 level, where you'll get to see what it looks like when you get stung in the face for an hour by sea nettles, which happened to me a few years ago. So you get to see the money that, or the lips that money cannot buy.
Is that's the story behind?
That's
I saw the pictures.
Yeah,
without any context.
That's what those are for. Those are some rewards. We also have me dressed up as an anatomically correct sea star for Patrick, the scariest starfish. And then all the way at the end there, if you want to see Emily and I walking briskly, because we can't run through the aquarium, but briskly walking through the aquarium, dressed up as Mola Molas. That's all the way at the end of that rewards. We got a few other things in there as well. So again, thank you so much for your support, Keys and Hobbs, for playing some awesome ocean games for us to commentate over. And yeah, thanks to GDQ for Ocean Week. So excited for all of this.
Yeah, a lot of fun so far, and just more to come. I'm really glad that we have you on this one, because while I was finishing up this game earlier, I was thinking, like, I might have to focus a lot in this game, and it's perfect because we got you two to just let everybody know what's happening with perfect accuracy. And anyways, yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. The only last thing I guess I owe Keys some compliments. I'm taking one away legitimately though, because all you did was crap on me. My one friend in chat is Susan right now, who's cheering me on.
Yeah, Susan. Emotional support Susans in the chat are always appreciated.
You know what, Hobbs? I don't even want your compliments today. I don't need the compliment. Should go to the.
Oh well, now they're just Conceal Ocean prizes. Come on.
Oh wow, Conch Seal Ocean. Is that what you said, Emily?
Oh yeah.
They had
the triple. They had the first triple pun in their tweet today. I had to find something. Yeah.
Well done, Emily.
But
there's
yeah.
Susan's little sandpiper.
All right, I do think we eventually need to get started. So, Keys, you're good at Pokemon. There we go. There's your compliment.
Thanks, man.
You get one compliment today.
Yeah.
You're good at Pokemon. All right, cool. And also, your second compliment actually is how does he keep getting away with this? Because that's what happens every time you and I try to do any kind of Pokemon race together. All right. So I guess we're both going to be playing on beginner because we just kind of assumed that's the fastest. And
I'd be amazed if it wasn't, especially with our skill level.
Yeah. And then we're just going to get going. It's a Metroidvania. We're just going to try and go get some abilities and then, fight some things and unlock some paths and grab some MacGuffins and eventually beat the game. So, are you ready, Keys? I'm sitting on the difficulty.
Yeah, and just friendly reminder, if you haven't gone through it yet, if you click new game, it's going to mention like your save or whatever, and then you just go until the difficulty screen. That way we don't have to... We're bucking tradition today, folks. We're actually going to start in the correct spot, I think.
Yeah, I'm on the difficulty. So Emily or Pat or both of you, if you'd like, if you want to give us a countdown, we'll get started.
Oh God, with Discord delay, both of them.
Yeah,
at the
maybe
same
only
time.
one of you. Let's have Pat give us the countdown now. We'll switch to Emily after the first break.
Oh, okay. Sea, 2 spotted octopus, 1 global ocean, go.
Okay.
All right, works for me.
Works out. All right, time to find out. Oh, you can skip some cutscenes at least.
I wonder if it's because we beat the game.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we get that benefit. Maybe this will be a lot faster than we thought. We both took about 5.5 hours in our playthroughs, not knowing what to do. And now we kind of know a little bit.
Yeah. And we have,
not a whole lot.
I'm hoping we won't need the 4-hour cap that we normally have on the show. But, hey, it's there in case we don't do much faster than we thought we would.
We're starting off in the glow kelp forest. This is rad.
Am I already going the wrong way? I think I'm already going the wrong way.
I can't tell where I'm going. I'm pushing buttons for abilities I don't have anymore.
I can tell where you're glowing, at least. In the kelp forest.
He's just looking for a little kelp, that's all.
Yeah. Well, we get by with a little kelp from our fronds, so it's good to see.
Yeah, so we start out just in this summary. The story for this game is that Marin right here is the name of the main character.
Marin?
Marin, I believe.
Marin, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Her father is a fisherman. He is lost at sea. So using her amazing intellect this has got to be the smartest person that has ever lived. She built a submarine in a day.
Oh my God.
A fully functional submarine in a single day. And now we're going after her father, try to find him.
In a single.
I got completely bodied by these waves.
I got pushed back once.
I was gonna say, Keys, you're really caught up in current events just then.
Yeah. I like keeping up with what's going on in the world. What can I say?
Oh, look at the little seahorse go by.
Yeah. It's a clockwork seahorse.
I didn't realize this took place at a university or around the hippocampus, at least.
Oh boy.
Oh, buoy.
Yeah, all right. Oh, buoy. I forgot.
Yeah. It's okay. In the next 4 hours, we'll train you back up.
Yeah. Thanks for the correction. It was wrong before, I see. We have our first upgrade here, a magnetic claw, that is going to allow us to basically just grab some things.
You're just hucking urchins around. That's rad.
The claw.
The claw. Oh no, take me to urchin care. I've been impaled.
We also have a little conch shell. What is the general understanding? Is it conch or conch? Because I've always heard conch.
I've heard both equally, and I think it might be a differentiation between like British and American English stuff there, because I've definitely heard people say conch and conch at the same time.
Yeah. A couple times, like as a kid, I've been to the Caribbean a few times, and it was always conch shells there. So that's what I've always gone with.
It's actually, that's an email marketing tool for gastropods, is constant contact. Constant contact. See, it's in there both times.
No.
That one's hard.
I'm fully aware, but I had to try. No, this is awesome. Actually, when you were picking up that urchin and hucking it around, that's actually something that people are doing right now in the Monterey Bay. There's some of you folks out there may know that there's been an issue with sea urchins having a huge exploding population starting back almost a decade ago. In 2011, all these sea urchins started showing up. And then around the same time, the sea stars started having a hard time with sea star wasting disease. And then the kelp was having a hard time with warm water years, with the blob that was happening off the coast due to climate change of too much hot water, 5 degrees above normal for years on end. And then an El Nino, so the kelp was really struggling. And then the urchins were doing pretty well for themselves. And so locally, there's some research being done called the Giant Kelp Restoration Project, where people are with supervision from the sanctuary and Department of Fish and Wildlife out here. They're smashing a whole bunch of urchins to see if they can help increase the kelp abundance in a certain control area. So anyway, I just like that nod to modern science that's happening in this game.
I want to make sure I heard this right. Did you say that the name of it is the Giant Kelp?
Yes, it's the Giant Kelp Restoration Project. Yes,
that's great.
That's what they called it.
Okay, I am getting a little swarmed here, so I'm gonna toss some stuff. Okay, well I'm gonna miss that one.
Oh, once again, Emily, a video. we've got a game here where part of the action is to destroy our jellyfish friends.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Next year for Ocean Week, we have to have Revenge of the Jellyfish. We have to have some game developers where it's jellies destroying people just for balance.
Listen, we gotta get Maneater approved. It's fine, and then we'll
That's
have the
true,
Revenge
yeah.
of the.
Just call it Manta Ray Eater or something. Like we'll just fake it. Be like, oh, we thought.
Yeah, but no, We're like we thought though. Oh, I guess we were wrong.
No, you know that one of the developers of this game had a bad experience with jellies, and they're like, "I'm gonna get my revenge."
That's right. Yeah, they heard what happened to my face. It's like for Pat.
I've definitely had bad experiences with jellies before, just being on the East Coast and some of the brackish water around here and everything.
What happened? You get like a Portuguese man-o-war or something?
I would not know. For me, I just remember as a kid like swimming in the water, and there was just always like getting stung and stuff, or being very worried about getting stung. Oh,
Yeah, we had quite the lengthy discussion yesterday about what to do if you get stung. For anyone who didn't hear about it yesterday, don't worry about trying to pee on your friends. That's not the effective, approved way of dealing with a jellyfish sting. Just FYI. That might come as a disappointment to some, but yeah, no.
That's literally, pouring salt on a wound there.
Yeah, literally, even if you're right by the shore. Yeah.
Why does that keep happening? I keep like tossing the head of the thing very far away. All right.
So at this point, are you looking for places like what's your methodology right now for the speedrun? Are you trying to find glitches or?
My methodology is press back button to look at the map. if there's an X, go towards it.
I haven't been doing that
Sometimes
yet
hook
because
things.
I feel like I kind of remember. But what I'm trying to do is I was trying to get this booster, which I now have. Unfortunately, it's very weak right now, and so I gotta wait for it to like recharge. But it lets us boost against the currents, and please get out of here. It lets us boost against the currents, and also is just going to be a way faster method of moving throughout the run. So I'm sure I'm not even going to bother trying to hide this because I guarantee Keys came to the same conclusion. But there are some upgrades you can purchase in this game, and if I get any amount of money, I'm going to immediately purchase all of the booster upgrades. I should be able to get through here.
I did some, but I focused on my missiles.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about doing because I actually got claw upgrades as my second thing. And I was thinking that maybe I should do the missiles instead. Nope, this is
I'm trying to think of which animals in the ocean are also interested in claw upgrades. And the first thing that came to mind was pom-pom crabs. Are you familiar with those?
I am not.
They're hurt, yeah. So they're a type of crab that lives in the Indo-Pacific, and what they do is they're beautiful, beautiful crabs with some orange and blue striping on them. But what they'll do is they'll grab 2 little anemones and use them as little punching mitts on their claws that they use to ward off predators. But they do look like a little cheerleader on the seafloor, waving their little pom poms around, like, "Let's go, let's go." Don't eat me. Let's go. Let's go.
That's funny.
Yeah, got to see one of those.
Keizaron, man.
If he can't do it, nobody clam.
Oh, no.
Sway came down. Yeah, Sway came down. Let's not do that. Now, I don't remember how much this gave, but there's some things you can do that will like give you rewards for give you some monetary rewards. I'm gonna try to do them if they're not too far out of the way, but apparently I was going the wrong direction, so it was too far out of the way. I shouldn't have done that, but that's fine.
I'm fighting significantly less creatures than I did in my first playthrough, and it's actually terrifying whenever I get needles shot at me.
Oh, okay, that's right. This is what I needed to do. So once you have the booster, you can do a like super throw, which I did not do there because I already ran out. There we go.
Nice.
So that's how we can open this door. Yeah, the booster is like really weak at the beginning, and so it's frustrating because I'm now used to how upgraded I had it, and I gotta remember that it's not that good yet. I gotta go back to like doing just little taps, like spacing out some taps to just get a little bit of boost without putting it all the way on cooldown.
There's a tap for that. This is a really cool looking game too. I love the idea of a sunken civilization that has kelp growing all around it. I feel like Atlantis is always being placed somewhere tropical, and I'd love to see like what cold water Atlantis was. You find remnants of people living there that all had hoodies and long pants instead of your traditional or a Pacific Northwest vibe, you know?
Hey, that's me. I'm from there.
That's what's up.
I can confirm all of this.
Hoodies and pants?
Yes.
Yeah,
even during the summer sometimes.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before. You can always tell most people back in the olden days when people used to travel, and hopefully that's coming back soon here. But you could always tell people visiting the aquarium. Typically, they're on some kind of a loop. Either they're going, they've landed in San Francisco and then they end up going to Yosemite and then maybe down to Las Vegas. Maybe they're visiting some national parks. Maybe the Grand Canyon, then they come back up and around from Los Angeles. And if they're making their way up the Big Sur coast and they arrive at the aquarium, usually they have some kind of I love LA t-shirt and short shorts on. And the first thing they do is go directly into the gift store to buy a hooded sweatshirt because they were not expecting the fog and 50 degrees.
Can confirm, as a transplant from Arizona, I think I spent my entire first paycheck on pants and sweatshirts when I moved out here.
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco a couple times because I used to work for a company there, and I heard this. I'm not entirely sure of the validity of this statement, but I heard that San Francisco is like the highest grossing city when it comes to sweatshirts in the country, because everybody hears like, oh, California, it's gonna be all nice and warm, and then they go there and they're like, I need a hoodie.
Oh my goodness, I would love that if that. Yeah, I hope someone can confirm that. Yeah, the coldest winter ever experienced was a summer in San Francisco. I believe who was it who said that? It was an author.
I don't know, but yeah, I think I have heard it.
Yeah.
I should have been hitting select.
I'm kind of like wandering a little bit because I keep seeing coins, and I really want to upgrade
I want to get
stuff.
this booster updated.
I'm significantly more poor than normal.
I know I hit some spots that had like things worth 100, 200, 300.
Like the little like totem things or whatever.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, there was some stuff, and I was just like, I wish I had written all of those down because if I could have just picked up a couple quick 200 or 300s, I would have been set for most of the game.
Wait, what's that, Hobbs? We should be taking notes when we're learning speedruns? That thing that we advertise every freaking Thursday and never do ourselves? Wow.
Hey, we got good at it for a while.
Not as I do.
We got good at it for a while, and then we did a few too many improv races where we didn't do a first playthrough, so there was no notes to take.
This is true.
Chat,
Whose fault
Chat
is
is
that?
confirming
Ours.
that the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. It's Mark Twain.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
but then we've got some debate brewing because apocryphally attributed to Mark Twain, but apparently he didn't say it. So look out! Right above that comment though, Emily, I don't know if you saw, and I just feel like I need to disrupt here. Leet Saver with the puns. Be carpful what kind of puns you make, lest you be branded anemone of the state. I just wanted to point that out. Kudos, very well done there.
We'll try not to let loose any conspiracies.
Yes, and there is a documentary currently on Netflix where one might wonder why they didn't put C at the end, just as somebody who writes puns for a living. It was right there. Anyway.
Okay, I kind of I should have hit select way more often. But yeah, and we're in this like darker, spookier area, and unfortunately for the speed run, as it were, this is we have to wait on a lot of cycles here. We got to wait on these little fellas, which are, I'm trying to remember what they called them.
Meanwhile, I'm in the anchor graveyard place. This is terrible.
Cuddle pups, Cuttle pups is what they call them. I'm gonna get the subtitles on because I don't know how they got turned off. So hopefully,
I don't want to die. Am I there
Keith,
yet?
do you have any news updates for us since you're currently the anchor?
Yeah. Jellyfish shots suck.
More at 11.
There's your update. More at 11.
First, a word from our sponsors.
Breaking news: local 11-year-old girls driving a submarine getting shocked over and over.
Hi, have you ever had to design a submarine in just a day to survive the apocalypse?
Okay.
I am so glad just looking at this design. Like the spookiest way you could have made the deep sea is by having those gigantic spider webs in there as well. As the feeling of walking through the woods or something, and then you step between two trees and you get that spider web in your face is always such a visceral. So the fact that right now you've got,
how did this happen?
You've got the spider webs in the deep. That makes it extra scary. I don't know, Emily. Maybe for our Into the Deep exhibit, we could tell the exhibit designers, hey, add some cobwebs. Spook people out.
Yeah, it's just the.
So ocean spiders are an actual thing?
They are an actual thing. Yeah, they don't make silk webs though, but
Oh.
pycnogonids are sea spiders. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and technically, you have
Commiserate.
your crabs, your arthropods there. They're just getting back to their roots, as Susan said, just placing some webs down in the deep sea.
Okay, I was not expecting these things to chase me. That's not great. Hopefully we'll get away from them.
Not a fan.
Not at all.
Did they just say Nautilus? That's
Yes, they did.
sick. I want that animal. Is that a rhinoceros mixed with a nautilus?
Pretty
The
much.
one horn on
You'll
the
see
front?
why they're called that in a little bit, I think. Because eventually I'm going to have to interact with them a little closer. Okay, so I didn't mean to, but I've picked up a couple hull fragments to increase my health, and I'm actually pretty glad that I accidentally did that, because the end of this game, you start getting one-shot by things, and it'll be nice if I can at least survive one hit.
A whole, yeah. Nicely done. A whole
I
new
haven't
game
picked up
now.
a single one, and I don't like my health.
Yeah, I'm in a fight room. There was a
Mines are
chest
blowing
in it,
up
and
on
I
me.
just had one. Okay, there's one of the Nautilosaurus. Nautilosaurai? I'm sure they thought that one through. They probably have an answer. Just ask Insomniac.
Why so Nautilosaurus? Oh man, those are creepy.
There it goes. Yeah, oh, man, I didn't let that one. So basically the trick with those is I have to charge them into a wall. Did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way. This is all a detour that I did not need to do. I thought I had to come here.
You just wanted to show off more of the game because the ocean's amazing, you see.
Yeah, so we need to run this thing into a wall to make it vulnerable to be able to attack it. And unfortunately, I am locked in this room because it's like a fight room. And I guess this was a fight room in order to get that hull upgrade. I thought I had to come here anyways, and I just happened to also get a hull upgrade, but I had it wrong. So it's up this way. We got a strong current here, but we can use the anchors to.
Did a whole lot to think about for the next run.
Actually, I get to.
Yeah, those anchors, Hobbs, were terrible for me because I had like 12 jellyfish chasing me the entire time.
I was gonna say I get to hole onto these anchors so that I can recharge my
Holding
boost.
on for dear life.
Yeah, exactly.
We do have an update. We are just $40 away from seeing
From
Pat's
Jellyface?
Jellyfish face.
Oh, $40
Chat.
away from Jellyface.
Yes.
Let's go.
I've seen the photo. I highly recommend.
It's listen, you know, if you've ever needed, as I tell people, you know, if collagen implants are expensive, if you happen to have any jellies around, just shove your face into their tentacles for a little bit. You might get the results that you want. Yeah, it's really weird. Jellyfish stings, they taste metallic, like you have this metallic flavor in your mouth when you get stung by them. And in the Monterey Bay, because the water is very cold out here, the only place where you really can get stung is on your lips that are around your regulator, on your forehead, and then on any part that's exposed around your face, because everything else is covered in neoprene. And so one time I was doing some recording for a nature show, and I happened to be in a full face mask so that I could talk into this microphone. And my dive buddy that was with me did not have a full face mask on. And so I was impervious to the jelly stings, and I was just shoving my face into the jellies, just like, yeah, who's laughing now? And my buddy was just like, was just covering up his face, trying to swim through. And he had a really bad case of jelly face after that. So highly recommend the full face mask taunting of jellies.
The next time you're diving
moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, oops, that was just projectile.
There we go. We hit it. We did it, Emily. JHobz, $1,000. We did it. For the
Awesome.
aquarium.
Nice.
That's gonna feed 1/19 of an otter for a year.
Wow. Let's keep it coming, folks. Apparently.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Let's get to at least 19,000. I want that
those,
one otter to at
Those
least
otters are hungry and they're coming for you.
I mean, if it's more incentive, you know, sea otters are related to animals like wolverines and you know, like badgers and whatnot.
So in other words, Hugh Jackman's going to be really coming for you soon.
Yeah. So if you want Hugh Jackman of the sea to be angry, we gotta get those donations up there.
That would be huge, Jackman, if we could get there.
I need to fight this.
Whoa, there's our anglerfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook,
Keeps
line, and
getting in my
sinker.
way.
Yeah. He seems to be escalating some things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The esca being the bioluminescent lure of an anglerfish.
Ah, okay.
Thanks for explaining my
actually-
pun, Pat.
I had to. Escape.
Oh,
This isn't fair.
I want to
This
take a
isn't fair.
detour for this because if I remember correctly, I think that green diamond is worth 100. And again, I really want to get those boost upgrades as quickly as possible because they are a big deal. Can you please hit the wall? There we go.
Uh-oh. What? What was
Yes,
that?
it's on. All right, good.
Nice. There goes our anglerfish.
Yeah,
Feminist,
I'm sorry.
feminist icon anglerfish.
Yeah.
Those are the big females, the ones that you see there. The males tend to be much, much smaller. And in some species, famously, some of the younger males might latch on to a female and eventually become embedded into her body and basically become glorified testicles that she can use to fertilize her eggs from the
Just little parasitic testicles.
yeah, little males just latched on there. Some species of anglerfish, the males are basically just a swimming nose trying to smell an anglerfish out in the deep. So yeah, feminist icon anglerfish is a T-shirt that one of our Twitch viewers designed on their Redbubble.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where do I go next? Oh man, I just got to keep going right. I think this will link up, hopefully. The problem with Metroidvanias is that you never remember where something is whenever there's a wall in the on the map, you never remember whether it's a wall that you can get past because you have the tools, or you can't get past because it's like a one-way wall or something.
So this is just my complete ignorance, and thank you for any help. So yesterday's game was also called a Metroidvania, and you're referring to that as well. That refers to just the original style of a Metroidvania game that was in this format, or like what makes a game that?
Yeah, so Metroidvania is really just smashing together the words Metroid and Castlevania. See, like this is what I'm talking about. This is a wall that I apparently could not actually go through. It's just smashing those two games together. The idea behind them generally is that you have a pretty like sizable open world to explore, but as you're exploring it, you won't be able to get through all of it. You'll have to get some new abilities that allow you to get past certain barriers and stuff. Like I couldn't have opened this door here until I had the claw, for example. But I might have been able to actually come up here. I keep getting baited by all these places that I think are the way to go, and then they end up just being for some money.
Ain't that the story of life?
It makes you feel any better. I'm completely lost right now.
It does a little bit. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, friend.
Chasing those sand dollars, fill it up your sand bank, you know.
If you ever are at a dive bar, you can always pay in sand dollars. We actually just recently published some photos of one of our amazing aquarists, Christy, who in quarantine made some big breakthroughs culturing sand dollars and raising them behind the scenes. So if you go take a look at our social media feeds, I think Instagram will probably be the easiest place to find it at this point. But we have sand pennies growing up at the aquarium, little itty bitty baby sand dollars that are just so adorable. So we have I hope, sand dollar talk always sparks a lot of interest. So I hope you'll go take a look.
So question for the experts, are there crabs that are normally bigger than submarines? Because I get uncomfortable with this part every time.
Depending on the scale of your submarine itself.
The fact that you start with depending and not a no is really concerning to me.
If you had a submersible that really just fits one person, the Japanese spider crab is definitely bigger than that. Yeah, they are massive. We're actually going to have those on display in the Into the Deep exhibit at the aquarium coming soon, 2022. If you want to take a look at those.
I learned that scary lesson when playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time, because there's gigantic crabs in that. And people are just like, oh yeah,
I thought that was just Dark Souls being Dark Souls.
Thank you, Dark Souls.
Oh. I don't like where this is going.
Was that the DLC SEA of Dark Souls SOLE?
Yeah.
The Flatfish edition.
Oh man.
Yeah, they made that one just for the halibut.
Yeah. Sorry, we don't mean to flounder with these flatfish puns, but they really put you in your place. PLAICE.
So this game doesn't really have like that many bosses.
No, yeah, it's got like 2.
I'm at one of them right now, and I don't like.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I hate it.
I'm so glad those
terrible.
are not in the ocean.
There we go. I must be so far behind. You're at the spider?
Oh. Yeah, it's terrifying. I hate it here.
We do have spider crabs in the Monterey Bay, but they're much more docile and.
Are they much more reasonable size?
They are much
too?
more reasonable size. Yeah, the sheep
right,
crab is not a bad crab that we have locally. It's one of the biggest crabs that you'll find in diving depths. And recently, a lot of sheep crabs have been crawling around because they're. Oh no!
Oh God! It grabbed me! Oh God! Let go of me! Let go! Wait, this is terrifying!
You're being Frodo'd!
Get me out of here! Get me out!
Oh man!
Had you not been grabbed in the first day?
No, I definitely was, but I didn't realize how close I was. I was so like hyper focused on the jellyfish I was trying to beat the crap out of.
Which does that mean that you let that out of your website?
Yes, very much so. Oh, that's not fair. It's hiding behind the spider. Get out of there! This isn't fair.
There's a question in the chat. Emily, what crabs are the most huggable? I think most crabs generally are not fans of being approached. I feel like the crabs that I meet when I'm diving have two different modes, which is I'm chill, I'm a crab, and oh my gosh, I'm a crab. It's very much having a good time.
You were so
or having a
animated
terrible
there.
time.
Discord like cut out half of that.
Oh, I clipped? Yeah, that's exactly what the crabs are like. I got snipped.
No.
But yeah, no, crabs generally are either chilling or fighting.
Get off of me. I hate this.
I'd say the local crab that's probably the cutest for me is the big eye hermit crab that we have here locally. It's got really big anime looking eyes. They're super adorable.
Really?
They come out at night. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
I'm
another
also
huggable
thinking,
crab?
Well, I'm thinking just like in terms of the comfortability of hugging a crab, like Yeti crabs would be very comfortable.
Oh yeah,
to hug
Yeti crabs.
because they're
Well,
so fluffy.
although, you know, Yeti crabs use use their fur-looking little projections there as surface area to grow bacterial films that they then feed on.
Yeah, I
So-
said comfort, not sanitary.
No, right. What it just means is that you're hugging a comfort food if you're hugging a Yeti crab. I don't know if you've ever given somebody a hug and they're made of pizza, but that's pretty much the equivalent. It's like, oh, I got some pepperoni on me. But yeah, Yeti crabs have all that hair on them to grow their meals on their hairs. Which, you know, there are people in quarantine who I know experimented with beard yeast to make beer. So maybe not the weirdest thing, still gross, but
Yeah,
You know.
I'm gonna go with gross factor on that one.
okay.
I've tried a beer like that before.
Did you say beer or beard?
Beer.
I tried a beer.
I didn't want to get sucked in with this. Okay. I am very
Oh,
lost.
that's so not fair. This spider is wrecking
I think
me
I'm
right
lost
now.
in the spot where you were saying you were lost. How did I get another hull upgrade?
Oh. No.
Keys is
I keep
having
getting too close to the spider.
a lot of issues with the spider there.
I'm having this is a nightmare is what this is.
That spider just keeps lobbing him all over the place.
I was looking for one of those.
Oh
Nice,
my
Emily.
goodness.
There's a reason why my handle growing up was Lord of the Rings nerd at hotmail.com, yo.
Mine was
Imagine
almost
outing
a skier.
yourself like that.
We have different-
Oh, I should be dead. I should be dead. That was the least
No.
deserved win. I should be dead. I should be
I can't
dead.
find my way out. I need
If
you to.
Oh, cool. Oh,
If it blinked at me, I
the
was
spider
dead.
has been defeated. That would be Arachnarog. The end of the spider world.
Yeah.
Frantically raced her heart.
Okay.
The young
Where-
serpent wanted to play.
Do I really have to backtrack?
All right, so what do you two know about baby leviathans?
Well,
Because this is one.
Well,
She thought.
well, the fun thing about Leviathans is that there a lot of the stories, including the Leviathan that you may have heard about in the Bible, and I think in a lot of Greek mythology, is that they're based off of real animals. Often people think that the Leviathans are kind of based off of whales, but there are big oarfish that folks may be familiar with, and oarfish are commonly oarfish are probably what you can attribute most sea serpent myths around, and large beings slithering through the ocean. So oarfishes can be, I think, oh man, I forget right now. It's over 20 feet long. Or is it 16 feet?
Wow.
Nearly 20 feet long. And they undulate. Their fin has this very snake-like undulation on them. And just if you folks over there tab over and just look up oarfish, you'll see why people might think that there were sea serpents afoot. But I believe one of the common theories of Leviathans, and kind of from like the Jonah story, etc., is based off of big whales back in the day. So was the least whale or oarfish looking little Leviathan there. So could be a completely different, could be something completely different. Anyway.
Oh, wait, that's not where I need to go anyways. I am totally lost. I'm trying to get to probably the spider that you just dealt with, and I can't find the path that I can actually get through.
Is there a gauntlet you have to run later with some other Leviathans?
No, so the game introduces the little baby Leviathan, and then you end up seeing its mom eventually.
Okay. Yes, yeah, that's true.
They are very friendly toward us, which is not what I was expecting at all.
No, because
I was thinking it'd be kind of like a moose. You hang out with a baby moose, and the mama sees you, and you're not going to be seen ever again.
Oh man, yeah, I love those videos that come around every so often showing off just how big moose truly are. Or is it meese?
It is still moose.
Okay, perfect.
Mooses.
No, I was just.
I lived in Alaska for 5 years. I'm very familiar with what they are.
Mooses?
I think it's mice, actually. It's just it's so close. They just went with mice. Where do I go? Do I really have to backtrack all the way through here? I don't remember doing this before.
Okay, Hobbs, I'm gonna do you a favor. Pull
I've got
up your
it
map.
I think it's no. I'm trying to get to the middle of Watcher's Hollow, and I guess I got to backtrack over to Undying Caves because I tried to go up above from Skeleton Reef, and it did not.
There's a
unless there was a path from Skeleton Reef.
We have our streams up on Discord.
Yeah.
I'll show you where in the map.
What? Hold on.
Here, let me zoom out.
Watch.
Let me zoom out. I'm being a helpful friend here. Do you see how it changes from like the blue all the way
I
down?
couldn't figure out how to get through that wall. Hold on. Maybe I just got it mixed up with a different wall. Yeah, because that was the first place I tried to go.
Did you knock a boat over yet? There's a boat. Okay, so after that, there's a part where there's like the giant crab, and you have to make your way to one of the like mines that are on the chain, and you got to break your way into the link. I'm pointing like you.
Yeah, no, I see the link now, but I saw that it was there the whole time. I think I need a bomb or something is the problem, and I don't know where to find one, but there's probably just one around here, and I didn't see it. Oh, maybe it's over here.
I'm reading in chat, by the way, and I would love to see confirmation of this via video, but Zamatis says that apparently orcas have been known to eat moose because sometimes moose will dive down to eat aquatic grasses. I've never heard of this, but if that is indeed correct, that is so awesome. And even if it's not, I want the movie of that happening.
Right.
That is. Just some moose diving down like, I love the briny grass. And then an orca is just like, hello, I'm a panda dolphin.
Orcas are the actual like killer whale species, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And the terminology of killer whale, I believe, from a few things that I've read over the years, is that it's the English word killer whale comes from what I believe the Portuguese called them when they showed up to this area, and it was like a reversal of whale killer, which is what they called them because orcas are known to kill and eat whales for the Biggs transient orcas, which we have in the Monterey Bay. And actually just a few, I think like a month ago, there was a kill of a gray whale calf in the bay that these orcas were hunting and eating. I actually got to go out and watch them eating this whale. The gray whale was sinking, and the big males would go and grab the whale and drag it back up to the surface so that the babies and the other whales could go and take little chunks. And so there were bits of blubber that were popping up, and you had black-footed albatrosses that were coming in and eating some of the blubber bits. Yeah, truly a wild thing that happens here every year in April and May is when the gray whales are migrating north with their little babies that were born in the lagoons of Baja, and then they make their way up north of the Bering Sea to go feed. And every so often when they're here in the Monterey Bay, there's usually some Pacific Northwest whales that will make their way into the Monterey Bay and kind of intercept them out here and feed on gray whales as they're migrating, the little babies there. First thing they go for is the tongue. And everybody at home who's watching right now, if you just feel underneath your chin, you can feel your tongue right there in underneath the, in that little space there. And so that's where the orcas go, is underneath the chin, bite through, eat the tongue first, and then the rest of the whale as they can. Anyway.
Now you got me feeling.
Yeah, you feel underneath there how easy it is to get at your tongue?
I don't like it. I don't like this fact anymore.
You ever
I was
seen an orca?
intrigued. I'm no longer intrigued.
You see an orca outside your window just like, yes, that's... Or cat's got your tongue? Okay. But yeah, but there's several other species or subspecies. I think it's still up for debate within the orca world. But there are some that are known as offshore orcas that eat marine mammals and fish, and then there's some that are known as resident orcas that only eat fish, so like salmon and the like. And so transient orcas are very, very quiet until they make a kill, and then you can hear them sing and squeak with each other. And then the resident orcas are usually much more vocal because the fish are not as perturbed by their calls, whereas the gray whale moms are definitely keying into that.
Pretty what I like about this game, Hobbs.
Huh?
If you leave your submarine, you can just teleport back to
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It feels slower at times, but it is nice that it exists. So I've been trying to, I'm on the spider now myself, and I've been trying to get, I know you can kill two or grab two of the webs in one cycle, and I keep trying to, and I keep failing, and I'm sad. Because
I got a couple 2 cycles.
Yeah, but
got a couple, but then it got really rough towards the end. I almost died.
By the time I get up there, I'm like out of boost, and you have to use the boost to pull them apart. I need this other enemy to come here.
You're using that boost to move around, so this stream brought to you by Boost Mobile. Sorry.
I now legally have to disclaim the stream was not brought to you by Boost.
Not brought to you by Boost Mobile at all.
How did it grab me?
These bad puns and the cancellation of GDQ brought to you by Pat. Pat, he'll say whatever for effect.
Oh man, I'm definitely not gonna be able to get a 2 cycle here. I might not even get a 1 cycle because that was so lame. It grabbed me on the way.
Can you get a motorcycle at least, or?
I have a motor, and I didn't get a 1 cycle. Is that
halfway there? I like Keys, your puzzle over on your side there, just like moving one head to another statue.
It didn't even do what I wanted it to do.
Okay, good. This is the faster pro at least.
Does it really want me to get? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I forgot we can leave the submarine now, so they want us to do as much of it as we can at this very moment.
Right. Oh, what? How did that? I disagree, video game.
Hobbs, you're on a
Having
roll.
fun.
All right, you're in its roll.
Okay. Just go. Get that.
Went out of my way for the little totem statue thing because I want more money. I have 1 boost upgrade and I have 1 missile upgrade.
I just have 1 boost upgrade right now. But I do have 3 health upgrades because I don't know how to look at the map properly.
The double missile upgrade, fantastic.
That's what I was thinking of getting, because I went full claw upgrades after getting all the boost ones. Oh, what kind of reach?
The double muscle upgrade is fantastic.
Wait, I got grabbed twice. The jellyfish. Okay. All right. This time. Can I grab? Oh, I can't grab that anymore, I guess. All right.
Kara had marked their locations on Merrin's map.
Yeah, just give me a new one.
Retrieving them would be a very dangerous
Oh,
task.
yeah. This is the part where we have to go to 3 different areas.
All right. I did this horribly, but oh well.
Oh yeah, it looks like we got more discussion in the chat about the moose and the orcas, and if they're being hunted actively or if they're being scavenged. That's a common question that a lot of people have. Not seven gill sharks, Greenland sharks, which are some of the oldest living vertebrates that we know of. There are Greenland sharks that are thought to have lived over 400 years based off of analyses of their tissues. And these Greenland sharks, the way that I read it one time is that they're considered to be a predator on polar bears. That's the way that it was presented. And then obviously much later, somebody said, well, actually, sometimes polar bears die or drown out on the ice, and then they sink, and then a Greenland shark will go and eat them. So they found bits of polar bears inside these Greenland sharks, but much more likely that you had a deceased polar bear that made its way to the seafloor that the shark went and grabbed, instead of shark actively nabbing the polar bear from its swim. But yeah, always fun to analyze the gut contents of different animals. You'll find some very interesting relationships.
Yeah.
Why is nature so scary sometimes?
Nature,
You know what I know about polar bears?
What's
They
that?
hold Coca-Cola bottles.
They do, yeah. Hey, you know, when those branded endorsement deals come your way, you tell me you can't say no. You've got all these black bears in California just like, sell out. And then the polar bear, of course, retorts with just like, well, you didn't even make it on your flag, black bear. That's a grizzly bear that's not even around anymore. It's like, hey, you take that back.
Okay, I thought maybe I'd get another thing of money from that. Okay.
Well, that's rude. There's a jellyfish
Double
camping
turbine.
my submarine. What the heck? It literally just waited for me to come back. What a jerk.
Oh, right. Okay, so now I need to go over there. I think this is gonna be. Can I even go this way? Yeah, I can go. Ooh. Trying to remember where to go in a Metroidvania. Always difficult.
That's why notes and maps exist.
Yep. And practice if you're trying to get really good at a speedrun.
What? Practice.
Practice.
That's
Honestly,
silly.
sometimes
We're talking about practice. You're talking about practice.
because like with speedruns, a lot of practice comes into like tricks and stuff, but sometimes it's like a fair amount of practice can just be about remembering where to go.
Quit camping
Just
my
memorizing
submarine. What the hell?
Let's see.
It's so rude.
Hobbs, I'm sure, I don't know if we've discussed yet, you know, if you're okay with Calvin and Hobbes puns, but for this next joke, we'll just imagine that you're,
Yeah, I am.
that you're a tiger. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank
There
you.
we go. Top quality
That's worth
today.
a donation to our Tiltify, right? That's worth some plush purchase from the shop. Exclamation point NBA shop.
Oh, went too far, I think.
I literally told myself, don't do this dumb thing that you're thinking of. And then I did this dumb thing that I was thinking of anyway.
Oh, cool. Some folks in the chat got the Allen Iverson reference. We're talking about practice.
What? What?
No, Keys, no!
Come on. That's so not fair.
I don't know what
What? I
happened.
didn't even know that could happen. I didn't even know that could happen.
Oh, now I did have one thing happen in my playthrough where I don't know if I was supposed to be able to go like I basically sequence broke an area, I think, because the camera wasn't catching up, but I was able to like get somewhere anyways. And I'm gonna try to do it again. I think it was like right around here. Because I think I'm supposed to go up here more or less, but if I wait for all my boost.
I was dragging a statue base, Hobbs, and a gate closed on me, and my chain got caught. So I'm very upset right now.
Oh, I didn't make it. Okay, but I could totally make that.
I'm really glad that there's a lot of save points in this,
Yeah.
especially since they give you your health back, because I'm bad.
Yeah, very much same. Okay, I'm gonna try to like wedge myself up here and go from this spot, because that'll make it easier if I can do that. I can't do that. Okay. I know I did
Hey,
a
Hobbs,
thing
did
here,
you ever
though.
figure out how to get past the puffer fish? Like,
Nope.
they're not required at all, but okay, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, no, never got past one of those.
Oh, but pufferfish are just swell. And that they swell up.
No, they do swell, Pat. That's what you're.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. No, pufferfish are one of the animals at the aquarium that has the most adorable fish face, I would say. Their eyes are set so far apart, and their mouth is in that little smile. But yeah, we've got so many different types of pufferfish types. There's pufferfish, balloonfish, burrfish, and in yesterday's speedrun, oh, I forget the name. Into the Deep, Shinseki. I forget what it was called. But there's Shinsekai. My apologies. The submarine is based off of a burrfish or a cowfish design, and one of the programs that we had at the aquarium was based on biomimicry, so different things that engineers have found in nature that help be more efficient, and especially related to energy production or climate change solutions. And one of the things is that there is a car manufacturer that designed a car based off of a cowfish that ended up being one of the most efficient cars that had ever been designed, because the design of that boxfish almost creates negative pressure behind the fish, and so the water that it swims through is kind of pushing it forward, which is why they can be so incredibly maneuverable on wave-swept coral reef environments. So if you ever see a boxfish or cowfish like that, you can see how boxy they are. You would think that that's not a very good design. It's actually incredibly hydrodynamic. Anyway, shoehorning a little bit of marine science interpretation as JHobz finds another hole fragment.
I know. I don't know how this keeps happening.
Let's go.
No, but see, this is what's going to happen is I'm going to be losing to Keys the entire race, but then he's going to get walled on the final boss, and I'm going to have all these health upgrades. It's how I cheat and win some of these.
You're so healthy, JHobz.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, I did do some amount of a sequence break there. I think I could be wrong, but my objective marker never told me to come get the diving suit yet, but I have it.
Nice.
It was a time collector.
Yeah, so I kind of skipped it. Yeah, oh, I have 2 objective markers now. That's not supposed to happen, I don't think. It should be fine. Oh, did not mean to toss that over there. Hold on. This needs to go down here. All right. I wasn't expecting to be able to like leave the sub really in this game, and I was really glad when like it turned out that we could. That was cool. Led to some interesting moments.
Please go on top of the statue, please. Thank you.
Grab some extra money.
I like the little dialogue that ends with a leading question.
Oh, you mean like all of the
shells
dialogue in this?
used by the explorers? What if it's not game? You get to the end and the answer to the question is actually no.
No, just
not.
not.
The same one.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
All right. Is this? Wait, no, I don't have the knife yet, so I can't go through there.
Where did it go?
What's that you're running with? A knife! No! No! I hope everybody's aware of that vine. You've seen that vine, right?
I'm not aware of that one. I don't.
The
think.
kid running around the pool.
Yes, I am.
What's that in your hand?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah. So it took me a second there, and then I remembered. All right, so now I need to go around and go the way that I was supposed to go. Go up here. Yeah.
Nice.
But because I did that, I've already got
right.
the ability to swim by myself. So actually, I don't think I need to go that way at all. Oh, I still need to do
I think this is the part where you get the knife.
Oh, nice!
I'm convinced that the knife is able to like one-shot most everything.
Really? Oh.
It's like, well, I mean, you don't want to be in that position where you have to knife something, JHobz, so it's not exactly good, but it is there.
So when
I'm convinced you take like quintuple damage when you're not in your submarine.
Oh yeah, you take way more damage for sure, which kind of makes
terrifying.
sense, you know.
yeah,
I
big
think
hulk of metal.
Game developers, you know what? I'll give you that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Usually
That
not a
one's fair
fan
and
of your
balanced.
tricks, but all right with that one.
All right.
So would you say that the knife is a cut above the other weapons?
I absolutely would.
Okay.
Not even for the pun, just
Not even
for
for
the actual fact. It's made of shells and coral. Now, is that a practical knife to actually use?
Oh my goodness. I have sliced my hands open on so many barnacle shells in my day.
I was going to say barnacles are notoriously like that is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there doing my underwater photography, I was like, well, you know, my hands get cold, but it's actually better to have no gloves on so that I can like handle the camera a little bit better when I'm adjusting settings. And after like a week or two of thinking that I was being really cool and like, yeah, look, I'm diving no gloves, like dexterity, I came out of a dive where it was just super surgy and I was trying to stay in place and, you know, just putting my fingers down on the rock, just trying to stay in position. I came back out and realized that all of my fingers were just sliced with tiny little barnacle slices. And then once I regained feeling in my fingers, I realized that that was a terrible idea. And then I completely forgot about it, decided to make myself some guac and had lemon and jalapeno get into those cuts. And
bold decision.
Yes, there was a bowl involved. But
oh no, yeah, as soon as you said jalapeno, it's so great.
Yeah, just like, hi, would you like some lemon juice in your barnacle scars? I'm like, oh, well. On a side note, I wonder what it, like, if fish knew that citrus existed, if like that's their spider in the deep that they have to fight, you know, like you show up with a lime peel, you're just like, what's that? It's like, it's halfway to ceviche. That's what that is. Oh no. Just citrus and seafood go so well together, and the acetic acid will actually cook fish if you're making a ceviche. So yeah, anyway. Feels like that's the battle that was happening in the barnacle scars. Wandering Falcon, mistakes were made, yes.
He committed some capsaicins there.
Did I do it again? I found another one-way wall again.
Oh no.
I keep thinking like, okay, this is the most efficient route to this place. I've like look at the map long enough to determine that, and then it's then it's just a one-way wall, and I'm sad. All right, it's fine. It's fine. Because we're not too far from the warp, and then I could just warp over to the other thing. Oh, we're pretty far from the warp. Okay.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't really get to use the warp as much as I thought would be good. But a lot of times it kind of felt like you were close enough to everything.
Right. I think I wandered a lot more in my casual rather than just trying to race to the objectives.
She felt closer than ever.
There's war and peace, but in this case it'd be warp and Pisces.
Troubled her about the orbs. Why did their very presence make
So I imagine this is just something dreamt up by the game, but the like docile sea nettles, the purple ones that are, you know, we're floating by every now and then, they react to the light on your ship and move away. Is there any actual like truth to that at all? You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, jellies respond to light and dark cues, maybe not from your ship, but one of the big things that jellyfish have all around their bell are little centralized hubs of sensory, they're not really organs, but sensory structures. They're known as ropalia. The singular is ropalium. And in there you've got you've got like chemical receptors. They can kind of like smell what's on the current. They also have a gravity receptor in there known as a staticist. That helps them know which way is up and down. And then they have eye spots that sense light and dark. And so some jellies, like box jellies, have the ability of forming some kind of an image because they can navigate mazes. They're known to navigate mangrove roots. And they apparently can tell the difference in colors as well, even though they don't have a brain to process any of that information. So box jellies have really good eyesight, but lots of jellies are mediated by light and dark, and they migrate up and down in the water column depending on the species. They'll migrate up and down for to find their food. That migration that happens between the day and the night in the ocean is actually the biggest migration in the world in terms of body size. You've got basically copepods and other organisms that are running the equivalent of several marathons to get to work, and then leaving to go back down and hide during the day in the depths. They come up at night, and you can actually see that in their predators in their diving. You can put tags on whales that are eating plankton, and you'll see the whales are diving deeper during the day than they are at night when their food comes up near the surface. And so jellies will do that as well. And so certain jellies will respond to light and dark that way. Some jellies are they're photosynthetic, or they have algae that live inside of them that feed them from the sun, and so those are known as upside down jellies, where they are actively swimming down into the sand, and then the pulsing of their bell is helping move oxygen and water over their tentacles to help the algae produce food for them.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's really cool. I also love when stuff like that, it just ends up being based in fact, like stuff like that in a video game. So, super cool.
Yeah, light is one of those things in the ocean that is just so fascinating, because down here in the deep part of this game, there's a few things that are making their own light. We've talked about this, I think, on stream before, but 3/4 of the animals that we found in the deep sea here in the Monterey Bay with our colleagues at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, 3/4 of them bioluminesce and make their own light for some reason. It could be a lure, it could be for defense, it could be to attract mates. And so making your own light is probably one of the most common things that animals do in the deep sea, and it's not something that's found on land too frequently. You've got some mushrooms or fireflies that are bioluminescent on land, but in the ocean it's far more frequent that animals are making their own light than not. And so even though you might be far away from the sun, light ends up being a really key adaptation, or how you use light can be some really key adaptations that you have out there. Emily, am I missing anything else related to light and jellies?
I'm trying to think. You did a great job of covering that.
Thanks. Well, some of the lights that you folks may be familiar with on jellies are the rainbows that go down the sides of comb jellies. And just very quickly want to point out that is not bioluminescence. The rainbows that you see on the sides of comb jellies, those are caused by light from the environment bouncing off of their comb rows and being iridified. It's diffraction of the light that gives you those rainbows. But most comb jellies are bioluminescent and make their own light, but they don't look like those rainbows going down the side.
So you're saying that the hairstyle cornrows were really just based off of the comb rows of jellyfish.
Yeah, so those comb rows, those little hairs, comb jellies are the largest animal that still use cilia for propulsion. So a lot of bacteria use ciliary propulsion, but comb jellies are the biggest ones that use little hairs to paddle themselves forward. So we have quite a few different comb jelly puns. Just comb over here and check this out. Yesterday, I don't know if you were watching yesterday, Keys and Hobbs, but I'm just going to repeat this pun just because I'm proud of myself. But if comb jellies were in a Mortal Kombat game, they would say, "Comb over here." Anyway, I just had to repeat that one for myself.
You know what? On that high note, I think let's. No. I think we're gonna have to take our first break. Oh, there we go. Now that I finally found the way to go,
I was lured into doing a break pun. Okay.
But yeah, Keys, whenever you're ready, I'm good to pause.
Broke the stream.
Yeah, I'm good in 3, 2, 1, pause.
All right, so we're gonna take our first break, everybody. We take breaks about once an hour. Now's a great chance to stand up and stretch. You know, go follow Monterey AQ on Twitch, maybe, or maybe, I don't know, go put !NBA donate or NBA shop in the chat. Go check out what they got and consider donating if you have the means. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more Song of the Deep. See y'all then. Welcome back, everybody, to the first step here on GDQ Hotfix during Ocean Week. We're playing Song of the Deep with Pat and Emily from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I wanted to mention that the Monterey Bay Aquarium is a nonprofit aquarium known for its regional focus on the marine habitats, of, I was going to say inhabitants, but the marine habitats of Monterey Bay. We're going to get going here again in a little bit, but I want to give you all a chance to talk a little bit more about the aquarium and whatnot. But like before we do that, we'll get going. But just here on Ocean Week,
just now seeing the jelly face up on the stream. Oh goodness gracious!
Here on Ocean Week, we're helping to raise funds for the aquarium by sharing water-themed speed runs and also talking with various members of the aquarium staff, like Pat and Emily today. And they have incentives, which are always great because it means you get pictures like these for the time that Pat got stung
I just
by
pulled
jellyfish.
it up on my phone.
So there is the face of a very sad marine biologist who decided to go on a night dive in the middle of a jelly swarm, and I ended up being stung in the face for about an hour by jellies. I was heading out to a dive site that's just off of the breakwater wall called the Barge, where there's a sunken little ship out there. And so we went out there at night because we figured we might see some cool stuff. And I was with some friends. We dropped down. Within the first 30 seconds, I just get a massive sea nettle that just rakes across my face, and it's so painful. But then I look at my friends, and they're still swimming. So I'm like, okay, well, let's keep diving. And so for the rest of the hour, I'm being stung in the face. And the whole time I'm just like, I want to call the dive. I'm not having a good time. This is terrible. But then also, they seem to be having fun. I don't want to ruin this dive. I want to make sure that we're having a good time. So we get out to the barge. We don't see anything extra special. Turn around, stung in the face by a jellyfish, swim all the way back in. And the minute that we like get back together on the wall and we decide to surface, we surface. I go, that was terrible. We shouldn't have done that. And then I look at their faces, which are equally puffy, and they're going, we thought you were having fun. We decided not to call it that because of you. And so the three of us, not wanting to be the party poopers, decided to just get kissed in the face by jellyfish for an hour. And that photo on the lower right there is me just a couple of days later, and I had these weird lumps.
I figured that was hours later. Oh, no.
Whole days.
No, that was the next day or the day after, and I had these weird lumps in my lips. And at the time, my job at the aquarium was in part welcoming people into the building, holding a tube filled with moon jellies, which don't sting very hard. And so everybody was walking into the aquarium and being like, "Hi, how can I find the?" Oh, and I'm just like, "Hi, I want to learn some jellyfish facts. I know a lot about them."
So that story brought to you by donations to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. If you want to see more fantastic incentives, do !MBA donate. And I'll let you kind of plug the full incentives in a minute, because why don't we get rolling with this, and then you can talk about it while we're going. Emily, you want to give us the countdown to get started here again?
Sure. SHORE.
Sure.
Sure. All right. I should have thought of this beforehand. We're just gonna go with.
You had an hour to prepare.
All right. C, toucan, pun. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
goodness.
Holy mackerel.
Oh buoy. Yeah, holy mackerel. Which, by the way, we just posted and currently premiering on our YouTube channel. 12 hours of mackerel with ambient music currently streaming on our YouTube. That video is holy mackerel because it's all Pacific mackerel. I should actually check to see what's going on that video right now. See how the chat's behaving.
We haven't looked at that in a while there.
Yeah.
While you do that, Pat, I can tell more people about what's going on with the donations there.
Yes.
So if you want to hear more wonderful stories, I will just say thank you to Pat, because you'll notice that none of the rewards are of me getting hurt, and I don't know if that just means that I've made better life decisions.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably it's probably a good thing.
Or what? But we have some great photos of Pat in different situations that are part of the rewards. But all the money that is donated to the aquarium is going to help support our animal care and operations of the aquarium, as well as the maintenance of the aquarium, including programs like our sea otter rescue program and the research that we do, helping to make sure that our ocean and our planet is around for a very long time, which I think is beneficial to everyone. So we got some rewards that we're going to try and hit over there. Include our next one up is a photo of Rosa. I know some people know Rosa of the controversy of when is Rosa's birthday, but Rosa came to us as a rescued pup almost 22 years ago. She's turning 22 this year, that beautiful girl.
Geez.
And so we got a cute little photo of her as a little baby sea otter pup, a little freshly rescued little fuzzball as our reward at $1,500. So we're $300 away from hitting that Rosa sea otter pup photo. And then after that, we are now just $550 away of seeing Patrick dressed up as an anatomically correct sea star. So
and scaring the youths with my interpretation powers.
I mean, I will say though that like while we have photographic evidence of Pat making poor life choices, I have made poor life choices before too. I just didn't take pictures.
Just not publicly for 1,800 viewers.
Yeah. To be used as incentives. So I guess I do have the cone snail photo, including my
her near-death experience.
Yeah, my first neardeath experience face in there too. So maybe we'll.
Emily,
put that
sorry, did you talk about the all of the incentives just then? Sorry, I was looking at folks donating right now. Did you talk about what happens at $3,000?
No, at $3,000. I was waiting to see if anyone was going to notice the $3,000 goal, and I don't think
anyone has any questions about the $3,000 goal.
So
I have questions about it. What is?
Yeah. What is?
We gotta play the game. We can't go look it up right now.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some, don't worry, safe for work and tasteful nude photos that have yet to be released to the world that I took recently. And some of you out there, if you're familiar with our puns, do not worry. It's not of any person, but some adorable critters in the Monterey Bay that we have in abundance that I like to take photos of. So tasteful nude photos that have yet to be released at the 3,000 level.
Ooh,
Please say the name of the incentive is OnlyFins.
Can I be real? We real REEL. We were thinking about trying to do one of those with only nudibranch photos at some point, but eventually realized, no, too inappropriate.
I need boost. Come on, recharge. It takes so long.
Darkrai Reaper, we don't have a $2,500 goal, a halfway goal there. Although I was talking to Susan yesterday, and we were brainstorming maybe making either a penguin painting. So our penguins do an enrichment where they can step in some paint and walk across little canvases and create beautiful art. And making one of those that says "Thank you, GDQ," and sending that to the gang. So if we hit that, maybe we'll make that our $2,500 goal. Or Makana, who is one of our lace-on albatrosses, Susan makes awesome feather prints with her feathers there. So maybe we'll use one of those. Maybe some bird art at the $2,500 level.
Oh, Keys, by the way,
go ahead.
I wanted to point this out before when it happened, but I think there was a story going on or something. But before the break, I now have more health than I had in my casual playthrough.
How?
I don't know how. I thought I would have less. I was so certain.
It's a holdover from all those hole finds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's somewhere in there. There's really just having all this health. It's a whole new world here.
A whole new
exactly.
world. Sorry, I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Where is that?
Yeah,
Well,
how lenient
meanwhile,
are the
Hobbs-
Disney lawyers? But it was a pun. It was a pun. I swear.
It was for charity. Please.
Meanwhile, Hobbs, no matter where you're at, I'm at the part where you deal with all the lights in the like temple place.
Already? Oh man, I am losing.
I'm terrible at this part. Don't worry.
Why can't I get this thing to on here?
Now, we use lasers in our work in the ocean, those red lasers in particular on our ROVs, the remotely operated vehicles from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. They have these dual lasers set about a foot apart that help the researchers measure how big animals are underwater with those lasers. So I know that there are a few different cartoons of just like attach. I think it was an XKCD of attaching lasers to the cuttlefish. So hopefully the Kraken doesn't, commandeer one of our ROVs and get laser technology. That'd be game over.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, like I'm definitely still going way faster than my first playthrough, but in some ways I feel like I'm somehow going slower. But I think it's just because you're flying through it, Keys.
Well, you see,
I don't have the knife yet.
I have picked up one health thing.
Yeah.
You have picked up 22.
But not intentionally. Yeah, I think I'm just getting.
No, not this part. I'm so bad at this part.
Maybe that's not.
Oh, wow. There are so many lasers.
I know. I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't even remember how I did it
See,
before.
I want to get there because I think I'll remember how to do most of that.
Yeah. I'm sure.
So much confidence.
What do I? Ooh.
Gotta find the head for the statue. Ah, here it is. Okay. The good news is I think I finally have enough health to, enough money to get my last like boost upgrade, which is good because that'll help a lot.
I think one way you could help get extra money for that boost upgrade is by donating to. No, I'm sorry, that was a terrible shoehorn.
Yeah, no, you only get to plug when you come up with a better one.
Yeah, so that was terrible. Try again.
You get a 5-minute break and then you try again later.
Yeah, it's definitely not our natural state to be asking for folk support. So we truly appreciate everybody donating to the chat. We've blown past the 1,200. We are well on our way to the next incentive there. If you folks start donating with porpoise, we'll definitely make it over there.
Oh, I can do this.
And I'm gonna go crawl under a rock for what I've done.
I probably could have done that with the ship. That might have been better, but.
Hobbs, I know you're trying on the speed run, but you really need a better head on those shoulders back there. You just keep pulling it off.
There's so many lights.
I haven't looked over at your feed keys, but those are so many lasers.
I hate it here.
Yeah. Talk about major laser. I think that's a band. Where am I getting that reference from? Anyway, I'm going to move on from that. Emily, how are you doing? You got anything going on?
Unbelievably good, Pat.
Unbelievable.
Excellent. I haven't used enough bird puns during this stream, so I'm sorry.
Bird puns for the penguin is what we say.
I know it was the one downside. I was like, I don't know if Susan's going to be able to join us this time because this entire thing happens underwater. No birds to be found.
No birds. I'm so sorry, Trooper. I know.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
I got electrocuted to death. That's cute. Minus the cute part, but that was cute.
Are you familiar with electric eels and torpedo rays and their electrifying properties?
No.
The only thing I know about electric eels is what I learned in Crash Bandicoot 2.
Oh, okay. I learned
i.e. they kill you.
I learned most of what I know from MGMT that one summer. Shock me like an electric eel. Sorry. But yeah, no, there's some really cool adaptations in the ocean that some animals have where they can actually give electric shocks. And I've actually seen some of those locally. The torpedo rays, they have these muscles on them that are arranged vertically, and they basically act like batteries that can store up a charge and then release it in a big shock. And torpedo rays are very docile, they're very calm, but there's a few videos out there of people not knowing that the torpedo ray was hiding in the sand, and then they pop out and go and attack the camera, and they wrap up the food that they might be going after or something that might be bothering them. They turn upside down and get whatever it is between their pectoral fins, and they can put a shock on that's very, very powerful. And in fact, torpedo rays might be responsible for some unsolved scuba diving and free diving deaths that have happened where people can't quite tell if anything occurred to the person that could have been shocked by one of those torpedo rays. So one of the things about diving with a camera is often as you're descending, you're kind of playing around with your camera settings, maybe focus on something else. One time I was diving with some friends out here along Pacific Grove, and my job was to go down and check that the anchor was in a good spot for the boat. And so I'm just like fiddling with my camera settings, go down to the anchor, and I turn around and I realize there's nobody else around me. So I come back up the anchor line, and then I finally find everybody coming back down to me, and just did the dive, and thinking, oh, maybe somebody had a fin, problem of getting it on, or maybe something else happened. And then we get back on the boat, and they're like, "Did you see the torpedo ray?" And I had just swam right by it on my way to the anchor, and they had this amazing photo shoot with this torpedo ray that was swimming through the kelp forest on a little trip along the coast. So anyway, it was a rather shocking discovery to find out I missed the torpedo ray. It was a torpedo.
How to do this part.
Oh. There's a
I'm giving you plenty of time to catch up. I forgot how to do this part.
Good, because apparently I'm gonna need it. Also, I think.
Am I blind? Oh, I am blind. Here we go. Never mind, Hobbs.
No.
Sorry.
My chance.
Got a question in the chat about what the voltage is on an electric ray. I don't know what the voltage is.
But we got a question about it.
We did, yeah. According to a cursory search, up to 220 volts, but I do not have the scientific paper in front of me for that.
What is this?
Was this already taken
time
care of?
collector.
Am I just blind?
Sorry, I thought you were done on your side there, Hobbs. You said Tyne.
Oh yeah.
And Tyne.
Yeah, I think Tyne is the name of like the energy in this. Totally.
Okay.
Oh, I did find one spare tank of that, so I don't have the health that you have. But
Yeah, I got one.
I could shoot an extra half missile.
Well, no, because I also have one now.
Oh well, you know.
I mean, I don't have a whole
Be
segment
that way,
of
Hobbs.
it. Where's the? Oh, there it is. I was like, where is this thing? Okay. I hope I'm about to get the knife because is the knife maybe an optional upgrade? I don't remember because I haven't got.
No, it's 100% required.
Okay.
Oh.
Go swim.
Yeah, okay, so I remember this part. This is the part where literally everyone that was watching me was like, you don't solve this on purpose. Oh, man.
On purpose.
I'm still working my way towards my third resonance orb. You got through those like so much faster. Wait, I need the knife to. Yeah, I need the knife to spin the things. Okay. So I'll probably get it here soon.
There, I solved it on accident. Hooray!
Nice.
All I did was rotate a bunch of stuff.
The tower's sonar pulse
So
had
instead of
revealed
turning it on,
location to
on and off again, it's just turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. Okay.
Yeah. turn it until it cooperates.
The only way to
Oh,
be
well,
sure
is that a
is to
Fresnel lens?
remove
Is this
the
a
sonar
lighthouse
Yes.
thing? Oh, cool. I don't know if anyone in chat has ever, or you, Keys and Hobbs. Emily, I know you've visited some lighthouses in your day. But the Fresnel lens, if you haven't seen any of those before, if you're ever driving along the coast here in Monterey, we've got a couple of lighthouses nearby. I don't think the Pacific Grove Lighthouse is necessarily open for visits, but you've got the Point Arena Lighthouse, Pigeon Point Lighthouse, Point Reyes, and if you go there, you can actually get to see up close what the Fresnel lenses look like, and they are just, if you're into optics and how to control light and shoot it out in a specific direction out into the ocean, they're wild. So it was really cool to see a Fresnel lens in there.
Yeah, we used to have one of those Fresnel lenses at the Monterey Museum, but I don't know if they have it anymore. Although, Pat, you said it with such conviction, like, I know you've been to some lighthouses.
You've been to some lighthouses, haven't you?
I feel accused, but yeah, I mean, yes, but
yeah, no, I know. Well, I know Emily's been. No, yeah, a little bit of the John Mulaney, just like, who wants some fries? Well, no, you want some fries. I know you've been to some lighthouses, Emily, because you're so enlightening.
Yeah.
I know you.
I got the knife finally. I think we must have just done them in a different order, and that's why you got it that much sooner than me. But maybe not, because you are very far ahead for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just
Richard and Railgun in the chat adding the turn it. Yes, I meant those to be the bird turns for the pun. Yes. Yeah. Well, this took a turn. Do you know, Keys and Hobbs, do you know how when you're trying to identify different seabird species, do you know how you know when you've seen a right turn? So when you've seen 3 left turns.
I was trying to get there. I was like, I bet it's when you've seen something about 3 left turns.
3 left
I was
turns.
trying to get there and I couldn't get there in time.
Well, you're preoccupied with fighting barnacles. Yeah.
No, well, Pat, you made 2 wrong turns before, but Railgun and Richard made it a right turn.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I did everyone a favor, and I skipped the cutscene where the seahorse blew up.
Oh, there's this cutscene where the seahorse blows up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you had to guess,
it's a robotic
we're
seahorse.
not gonna see it now.
It's a clockwork
No, so
seahorse.
the seahorse that blows up, do you know if it's a male or a female?
I
don't think that's specified.
I
Because
think we're
definitely
gonna
be
go
the
with
male.
robotic.
No, it'd definitely be the male because those are the ones that get pregnant. The female seahorses deposit the eggs in the male seahorse pouch and they balloon out. And then we had this video at the aquarium. I wonder if we can find it somewhere, but of a male seahorse giving birth, and they just
So
are like, they're just like they're
Wait,
doing
do they actually
crunches.
explode?
No, not quite, but it kind of looks like that. They're doing crunches, and then suddenly there's just little confetti of baby seahorses that go by, and just a little Easter egg. If anyone sees that video, the male eats one, just immediately after. So a little bit of mantis shrimp or mantis inspiration from the male seahorse.
Okay.
Anyway.
Getting to some of my own light puzzles finally, and I'm thankfully so far remembering them, so that's good. I went the wrong way.
Yeah, you sure are remembering them.
I didn't get the orb. I mean, hey, I did all the puzzles right. I just went the wrong way.
Unexpected.
How did I do that?
Oh yeah, this is one of the rare forced monster closet areas.
Oh yeah, until you get to the end, and then there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Chocvocado's pointing out that I've said that the turn joke to you the last 2 times already. You need new material. I need
no wonder
new
I thought I knew it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get over to that warp point to try to get to the deep light, which is the big lighthouse thing that Keiz has been in and then is out of already. How am I this far behind? I didn't feel like I got that lost, but I guess I did.
I found the knife faster. That's what I'm gonna say.
No, I just did that one.
I don't think that actually matters, but
yeah, I think the biggest thing was when I was getting lost trying to find that spider for a while. I probably just got lost for a lot longer than I thought I did.
Is there a sword for finding the knife first?
I'm not giving you. I'm giving you nothing for that one.
Nothing?
You get nothing for that one.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Okay.
I really hate this part because we have to start moving things on platforms that open doors, but like even the slightest sneeze of light makes them like explode.
Even their dead
Oh no! Oh no!
I like this.
Yep. There it is.
with a mesmerizing glow.
I like the sneeze.
Goodbye, friend.
The sneeze of light. It's very similar to what bomber worms do in the deep sea, where they'll shoot bioluminescent bombs around. And there's some types of shrimp as well that will release yellow bioluminescent goo.
Oh come on!
That will get plastered on the face of their predator. So if you come up to one of those shrimp, you might end up being hit with some bright paint that points you out to your own predators. So be careful what you fish for in the deep.
No, not again. Oh, come on. It lasted so much shorter that time.
All right. I think I remember these for the most part. I can do these faster than Keiz. That's like a really big chance to catch up. If I could do all these light puzzles faster. Light puzzles were my jam when I was a kid. You know why?
Oh, I like
Because
the
I
strat
was-
there, Keys.
Not popular.
Oh, Hobbs.
Do, 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 do. Christmas.
I wanted it to be
man.
like this whole just like, oh, were you like really into like lasers or something like? I'm just like, nope, it's not popular.
I
Lasers are
mean,
my friends.
I mean, you're in good company here. You're speaking again to the person whose handle was Lord of the Rings nerd.
I used to run to class to be first, so no, I feel you. Come on, Keys, let's go. We got this.
I'm so tired of this part. I'm done. I'm over it. Stop moving. Why are you moving?
3, 2, 1.
Ah!
Yes.
Hate this
Oh,
part.
he
This
did
part
it.
sucks. Please fall in the right
All
place.
right, I'm
Please,
assuming
just go
this is
right-
the
right
big
there.
puzzle you were saying that like people don't figure out
Oh,
intentionally.
The vast riches and
Are you gonna figure it out
Oh,
intentionally? Hobbs?
I'm going and moving things
I'm-
before I even like move stuff into the right spot so that when I finally move the last laser, it just all goes together at once. It's gonna be the best.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, except I messed that one up. That should be more like that, I think. Wait, that's not right either. I think I had it right before.
currently I'm having a hard time coming
How
up
did
with
I
premise.
miss? How did I miss? I was
Oh,
right
no.
above it.
You
How did
got
I
it.
miss? That was impressively bad. It's harder to miss that than hit it.
Not that you've got a good head on your shoulders over there, Keys. I think we're in
Not
for it.
anymore, I don't.
Oh.
After a throw like that. Uh-oh.
This goes
Don't see me,
here.
don't see me,
I
don't see me.
think. And then
Oh, is that a
these-
scanner that does damage?
Yeah, once it scans you, it shoots missiles at you, and I for
Oh.
one, don't like being shot.
Go.
You're a unique person, Keys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same with everyone else, but
Yeah, I don't know how everybody in chat feels about being shot with missiles.
Being shot with missiles, yeah. All right, yeah,
Not
look
a
at that.
fan.
Look at that. Did it all correct. Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Moving on up to the
Susan
north
in the
side.
chat saying that was quite the egg enigma there for you, Hobbs. But you got it.
Did get there. Okay, now I apologize for all of the the sea nettles that are about to get decimated by this laser, but that's what the game wants you to do. Kind of.
What the game
I
wanted.
died. Oh boy. Oops.
Aha! Revenge of the Nettles.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much exactly how it went.
Oh, we've got Melodious Dissonance in the chat saying they're giving us their geology pun energy. That rocks. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for being so magnanimous with us.
Okay, wait on that. I guess I probably didn't have to. Well, I don't know. This.
I like just the random shooting of the light beams around their house.
Yeah. Okay. That one. Did I locked myself off from the blue one. I should have prepped that ahead of time. Whoops. Yeah.
The graphics
go
are
around.
gorgeous. Nice.
Nice, as in nice, yeah?
Yes. GNEISS. That's exactly what they meant. Although apparently, according to Hank Green, ice is a rock. So
True. And water is magma, so.
water is magma and ice is a rock.
Okay. Today I learned.
Make sure that everybody who's hydrating right now, drink your daily
Drink your rock shakes.
Drink your daily magma.
Yeah. I like to put some rocks in my magma before I drink it, so it's colder. That's actually one of the. I mean, we talk about this a lot during Ocean Week, I think, but there's so many different games that have brine pools in them, and that was some research that we ended up doing on our own Twitch chat when we were doing Beyond Blue. But one of the ways that brine pools form, brine pools being just extra salty ocean water, so forming lakes underneath the ocean, is in areas where sea ice is forming, the salts end up coming out of the sea ice and forming that brine as the sea ice is getting crystallized with the water there. So really one of the awesome things about water and being on a water planet is that the densest water is 4 degrees Celsius, so it sinks. But that's not freezing, which means that lots of fishes can live at the bottom of ponds and lakes that don't completely freeze over. They can live down there in that 4-degree sea water until the ice thaws. And because of the way that water molecules work, when they freeze together, they end up taking up more space, which is why ice floats. So shout out water, you know?
That's good timing that you're bringing up ice floating, because I just got the ice missile
there
and I'm
you go.
making the
Look at me
mine
go.
float now.
Yeah.
Look at how buoyant it is.
Can we get some W's in the chat for water? I mean, come on.
Oh, that dihydrogen monoxide, I love it.
Oh, it's just, love it. Ordering water at a bar. Somebody told me the double dolphin on the rocks. That's what they call ordering a glass of ice water.
No, it fell at the last second. Oh, you stink.
All right, I have acquired the sonar and I'm leaving the tower now. Or, eventually, whenever I can get back to the bottom.
Once you solve this puzzle there, Keys, that'll be nice, baby.
Quit moving. Go that direction. I'll die for it.
All right.
I'm in so much pain.
Everybody's putting W's in the chat, and people are like, what are you putting W's for? Water. Oh, we got another good geology pun there. Hobbs needs to get his schist together to catch up.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Man, those geology puns shale in comparison to any other. You can never take them for granted, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
marble
I love
at
Ocean
these
Week.
marble at these geology puns. Marble.
This one recently. Yeah. Do I want to do? No, let's do this one. Maybe get that other one later. Okay. Talking to myself while I'm trying to figure out which upgrades I want to get.
You know, if you had rock stars in your life, they may be playing "Smells Like Serpentine Spirit."
What is that? It comes back. I never knew that.
The lava column. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I never knew. That's unfortunate. All right, try again, I guess.
Unfortunate.
Hey, the seahorse.
For whatever reason, it's not spawning down there. So
Why did the baby Signathid go to the doctor? Because it was a little seahorse.
is
Nothing?
like blocking it. Or
Sorry, I'm just amazed at what just happened because I just bypassed 2 enemies I'm pretty sure I was supposed to have to kill.
Nice.
And they really suck too, so I'm really glad I did.
So there were some octopuses then.
I was gonna say
Does it really
suckerfish,
expect
but
me to do that? That's weird. There's one spot where it's supposed to produce the mines, and it's not doing it.
Yeah, I had
even
some
though
of
I
the-
literally saw it do that like 5 minutes ago.
I had some of the mine things like glitch out a little bit on me. Like even earlier in this
That's-
run, one of them was they were spawning like already ready to explode.
Maybe there were some seagulls afoot just going, mine? Mine? So I got to
All
throw
because the lava column came back. I'm very upset about this.
Oh, there's a warp point down here.
So would you say you don't lava that column?
I do not in any way, shape, or form.
You're not obsidian to see it.
Lava puns. That's a type of lava, as I understand.
Got it.
Past the column this time. There you
Nice.
go. Good job. Good job.
Whoa,
Okay.
Hobbs and Keys are in the same zone.
Uh-oh, but is he there? Are you there for the first or second time?
Only the first.
Ooh.
Only the first. I'm not.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
caught up in that tower doing those laser puzzles pretty quickly.
Yeah, the mine thing that just happened really cost me a lot of time too. That was not cool.
Also, did you so you know the like the big Fomori robotic ship things? Keys like the ones that pretty much the most annoying, like most problematic enemy in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The spot where they like spawn 2 of them, they're like fight these to avenge the seahorse. I flew right past them.
Oh,
Turns out
Yeah,
you
that
don't
would
have to
help.
fight them.
that would help.
I wish I'd spent the 60 on my claw upgrade now. I didn't know this fight room was coming up. So these, yeah, I feel like for runners that have actually, oh no, oh, I died. Oh, that was rough.
Rip.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to my health there. I feel like for runners who actually know where the, the big chunks of money are in this game, the biggest priorities would be like getting your ship to where you can boost, like getting your boost better as quickly as possible, and then figuring out whatever the balance is between whether it's
Pushed it up too.
the claw that's better or the torpedoes or maybe something else like maybe the magma or the ice power are better, and then just upgrading those constantly. So like I feel like you'd want to by now have a much better version of all of the weapons that you plan on using, unlike me who's just hoping I get a bunch of energy refills so I can keep spamming missiles.
I love hearing the explanation of like what you really feel like you should have been doing
Yeah.
and what's actually happening. Like, take notes.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it really always all just stems back to I wish I had taken some notes. It's just oftentimes we do these once a week, so sometimes we're doing them as close to the showtime as we can because then it's fresher in our mind. but that means that you're rushing and don't necessarily have as much time to chill out and take notes.
Well, it's a good thing you've got so many different mind puzzles coming up, so that's fresher in your mind at least.
Yes.
In fact, are there Moria mines to try to solve?
Yes.
See, I got. See.
Give me more.
I wish you would go grab those jewels that you saw back. Oh, this was the part that Keys was struggling with here, Hub. So,
Okay.
careful.
Oh.
Careful.
Okay. I think I'll be all right. So fun.
Yeah, mine was being lame. Mine was being lame.
Oh no!
No!
Go, get there. Oh, it's not getting there. Well, no, I'm just gonna go get in there.
Hey, welcome to my world.
Mine world?
I got several new ones.
I thought I was clear of the current, but barely was not. All right, it's fine.
Mine precious.
I'm sorry, as already explained, all Lord of the Rings references must be made by Emily, Pat. We're just gonna have to.
But you know, if anyone donates $10,000, I'll do an entire tour of the aquarium in a Gollum voice. Come, masters! We'll show us all the penguins. Come quick!
Oh man. No. Somebody would be losing it over that.
Can we pet a penguin?
Precious.
Okay, there we go. That time I didn't mess it up.
Melodious Dissonance is still crushing it on the geology puns.
Oh my God,
Igneous is bliss when it comes to nerd references.
Just go over. No, stop. Move. What do you do? Just go right. Come on. Hey, good head.
Yeah, so my other advantage in this race for this moment is that I am a procrastinator. So I finished this game today, and that includes a lot of the area that I'm in now. So now it's really
It's
fresh in
his
my mind. But where is the... Oh, there it is. Okay. That was fine. We got enough health.
Fresh, like locally caught, sustainable seafood.
Oh, I
Thanks
Kobe
to the
that.
Seafood Watch app. I don't know what I was trying to do there.
Did you say Kobe?
Yeah,
Ignore
I
that.
tossed one of the statue heads. But Kobe. Kobe, like the Kobe beef you should have instead of seafood.
Oh! I don't know. Sake
was an attempt.
massaged beef sounds like that's a way to live. Like if you're gonna be beef.
Okay.
And I mean, that's actually, of all of the beef that you could shoehorn into geology puns, they've got good marbling in them. Anyway.
Where? Where's this supposed to go next? Why is that not opening?
Oh yeah, this part. I don't like this part.
Maybe I just needed to defeat everything here. I don't remember. Maybe?
I'm watching both screens at the same time and just trying to figure out
Where we are.
where all this is going. This is
Yeah.
this is really wild.
Oh, I am a fool. I forgot. I just need to blow that up with Sonar.
All of a took.
There we go. Oh, and I need to push this one. Okay.
Are you feeling a little bit like Gandalf right now? You have no memory of this place.
That's me right now.
Maybe up here. Yeah. Go this way.
Yeah, we missed the reference yesterday, Emily, when there was the bobbit worm. They're taking the bobbits to Isengard. Completely missed that opportunity.
Oh. We should be ashamed.
For shame.
I'm assuming I need to go this way. Yeah. Okay. Just sonar that. What are some? And are there any like aquatic animals that people may be shocked to hear have use echolocation or have some other form of like sonar related abilities? Because you know, dolphins are kind of like the one that everybody thinks of, right?
Yeah, and you know they get too much credit, honestly. No.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone can
gotta knock them down a peg.
Well, something just related to the dolphins there. I actually, back when I was in college, I worked for the Seymour Marine Discovery Center that's over at UC Santa Cruz. And one of the coolest days of my job over there, and like one of the coolest experiences was I helped facilitate a tour for a few different, for some kids that were either completely blind or were very hard of sight and
visually impaired.
And the kids were visually impaired. Yes, yeah. And so the kids were there at the Seymour Center on this tour, and they were actually there to show the researchers how it is that they echolocate. And so the researchers had set up these different rooms, and the kids walked in, and through clicks and other sounds they were making, they could navigate the room perfectly and sit down in a chair that they hadn't seen where they were before. And so they were there to kind of hang out with the dolphins, and they ended up echolocating with each other. Kind of couldn't really tell if anybody was like truly hearing or truly seeing each other in the same way, but they got to hear what the dolphin echolocation sounded like through the hydrophone that they had there. And then the kids showed off what their echolocation skills were. And I guess it's something that can be trained fairly straightforward. There was a recent research paper that I saw, maybe related to these same students who could teach other people how to echolocate in just a few short hours. So really cool stuff, getting to actually see some kids echolocate and then get to go hang out with dolphins that are echolocating as well at the Seymour Center.
Wow, yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know anything about that.
And thanks for the proper terminology. Yeah, so yeah, just really impressive what people can adapt to if certain senses aren't online, the other ones pick up the slack. And yeah, these kids were echolocating. It's one of the coolest things. Yeah, Emily,
awesome.
Did you have an echolocation?
Well, they're not too much in the ocean, but you know, I think that sometimes on land we forget that there are animals like there are some species of shrew and solenodons and tenrecs that can actually echolocate underground. They're not doing it so much to like pinpoint their food, but they can actually use it to like navigate their little tunnels and stuff underground. So you can just imagine like a little shrew underground making little squeaks and noises to navigate tunnels, which would be very handy in here. Mm-hmm. You know, having a little shrew friend.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, this way.
Uh-huh. But it's good to have a shrew it's good to have a shrew on the crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another aspect of so one thing that folks may not be familiar with is that baleen whales aren't really known to echolocate, but they can echo range. And so their vocalizations are such low frequency that they travel incredibly far in the ocean. And so blue whales and other highly migratory species, they can tell where they are in an ocean basin, apparently from echo ranging, where their calls bounce off of like basins and bays, and just the way that reflection comes back to them, they can tell where they are in the ocean on their migrations. And some really cool examples of echo ranging happen in I think it was a species of right whale that was that commonly navigates ice flows with icebergs and other obstacles. And so as they're swimming, there's one out ahead that's making calls. And then the way that the call bounces off an ice floe, an iceberg in front, the researchers could tell by placing little tags on their back to tell the direction that these whales were swimming. The one out ahead kind of swims up and almost runs into the iceberg and then is calling and then swims around the iceberg very close. And then all of the whales traveling behind that whale just deviate their course slightly way out ahead and end up taking a wide path around the iceberg and never run into it. So that's how they know that they're hearing the other whale, at least letting them know that there's an iceberg, or they might even be able to tell where the iceberg is to avoid it from that echo ranging that they do. So not quite the same as the high pitch frequency echolocation that dolphins or bats might be familiar with. But yeah, echo ranging there. And some other cool things with like dolphin echolocation. This is a story that people have probably heard about, but dolphins can tell who's pregnant in the pod because they can basically give themselves an ultrasound, and they can know if another dolphin is pregnant. And they can also tell if sometimes researchers that have been working with dolphins that have been pregnant, they could tell the dolphins would do the same celebration or same, I forget the way that they told the researcher, but they could tell that the researcher was with child with echolocation. So that's a really cool little feature that they've got there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm always amazed when like how many ways different species of animals can like communicate, whether it be almost, you know, full-on communication of like any type, or even just something like being able to tell where an iceberg is. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the way that, I mean, you know, we were talking about this earlier, the way that animals use light to communicate. So they also use you know, sound, and the sound in the ocean is kind of like what vision is on land in terms of like a long distance sense, where and like sound and smell in the ocean travel, or sound travels very, very far, and smells get carried along on the current. And so whales and dolphins, cetaceans generally, they're really keyed into sounds, and sharks, as an example, are really keyed into smells to find their food. And so just thinking about what the water medium, the fact that it's so much denser than the air, what kind of evolutionary pressures it puts on organisms, and that's why eyesight is not necessarily the primary sense for a lot of organisms, because you can't see very far in the ocean, even in really crystal clear conditions. And right now, can we get an update, Hobbs and Keys? How are we looking? Keys as a whole.
I hate this part.
Whole bunch of minds going in a circle.
I'm in an area that I just remembered has really loud sound effects, so don't be alarmed if you hear something louder than everything else. Yeah. But I'm in another fight room. As long as I don't die in here or anything. I'm sad that I died in the other fight room from getting a little too reckless. But yeah, this I think I'm moving pretty well. Have you gotten grabbed by the tentacle thing yet, Keys?
No.
Okay. I haven't either, but I believe that's where I'm heading.
If you get caught by
I'm trying to time
tentacle,
mines.
we'll know when you giggle, because it might tickle.
Oh. Now I'm wishing I had a bunch more time upgrades, like the energy upgrades.
We're always running out of time. Got to live every moment.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I think it's time for is for everybody to be reminded, you know, kind of why we're here, why we're doing Ocean Week. So because we're going to go to a break in a moment anyways, or in a little bit here. So I thought it might be good to remind folks what's going on and why should they use !MBA donate in the chat.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, everybody, for being here on GDQ as a part of Ocean Week. Oh, we've got my face up on screen there. You can see we already hit the $1,000 donation goal there for donations. Our mission at the aquarium is to inspire conservation of the ocean. And last year, during our extended closure, we lost a substantial amount of money, about $50 million of operating budget from being closed for 14 months. And so all of your donations here during Ocean Week and here or in our shop, purchasing tickets, memberships, all of that support goes directly to the care of our animals and the continuation of our work, which is, again, to inspire conservation of the ocean, and lots of science that goes on, from sustainable seafood to tracking great white sharks and rescue and rehabilitation of southern sea otters. So all of your kelp goes directly to that. And we've got a few incentives coming up here, right, Emily? We've got some more fun things.
We are $300 away from seeing a picture of baby Rosa. Our oldest sea otter at the aquarium. She's now 22 years old, which to kind of put that in perspective, female sea otters typically in the wild only live about 15 to 20 years maybe. So
oh wow.
she has crushed that record there for herself. But we got a cute little picture of her when she was just a baby rescued sea otter. So that's our $1,500 goal there, and we are just $300 away from that. And then coming very close after that one, our $1,750 goal is seeing a photo of Patrick dressed as an anatomically correct sea star. So
scaring the children with my interpretation.
I was gonna say you should totally like when you did that, or if you do that again at some point, you should just go to you should like basically mark it as one of the entertainers for kids for kids parties, and just be like, yeah, Patrick
right.
Star, and then show up.
Yeah, Patrick Star. Hey kids, you want to learn about how a sea star digests its food with the stomach coming out of its mouth?
Thing is, the kids, they'd probably be super down for that
party ever.
The
You want to know
parents
where the
probably
butt of a
wouldn't be.
sea star is? It's on its back where you've touched it at the touch pools. Happy birthday. So yeah, those are all incentives there available for all y'all, and thank you so much for your support. The aquarium is open for visitation too, so if you happen to be anywhere on the West Coast and wanting to come on down to Monterey Bay, it's an absolutely beautiful area. If you are familiar with Big Little Lies, that was us. Season 2 there. So you can come on down and go take a look at what we've got going on in the area. You can go out on whale watch boats, go scuba diving. The visibility in the bay is not always 1 foot killer quag, but it can be pretty bad. Right now, fairly decent. Had about 20 feet of visibility this morning out here in the bay. Always some fascinating things to see. Tide pooling and exploring this coastline here. That's part of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. And of course, visiting the aquarium, you get to experience what the world is like underwater if you don't go scuba diving. And I don't blame you. The water out here can be very cold and murky and surgy. And that's why the aquarium is there too, so that you can go and see all of the cool fishes with your hoodie and pants and coffee walking through the exhibit hall.
Yeah.
When is the underwater coffee happening for the divers? That'll really.
I've tried to consume a few different drinks underwater in the past. The best method I can tell you is if you can backfill a Capri Sun or similar pouch.
There you go. Okay.
It's less salty. I've done midnight dives previously for the New Year's. And brought a tiny little bottle of champagne to see if that would work. And that was mostly salt that we ended up tasting there, not very festive. Anyway.
Emily, I think I cut you off. What were you about to
I was
jump
just
in
going to add, Patrick mentioned Big Little Lies for the Monterey area in the aquarium. But if you're also a fan of Star Trek 4, Voyage Home, that was filmed
that's right
at the aquarium
the
too. You can come say hi to George and Gracie.
That's cool.
My claim to fame is if you watch Big Little Lies 2 and you see Shailene Woodley nailing her lines talking about octopuses and hermit crabs in the Discovery Labs, I was her coach on the science of that part. So
That's cool.
If you're watching, Shailene, shout out, you're awesome. You nailed your lines. We were able to get out of there early. But yeah, no, the aquarium's been inspiration for a few different movies. We talked about The Abyss. The creature in that is based off of some comb jellies that the show creators saw, or the movie creators saw at the aquarium. The Cetacean Institute, Big Little Lies, a few more. Of course, Finding Dory. If you folks out there have watched that, that's largely based off of the Monterey Bay Aquarium, as well as the Georgia Aquarium there.
See, that's where I wasn't sure how much was fact or fiction on that one. I didn't know if you're just making a joke, just it's all underwater, so it's based on us.
Oh well, I mean, I'm gonna take credit for anything ocean related.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Did you ever see Jaws? Yeah, terrible representation of accuracy, but like that was us.
Yeah, yeah. The bigger boat was based off of our contributions. Yeah, no. The aquarium's been the source of a lot of different inspiration for local artists and different people doing different concepts for animals. We talked to Matt Nava of Giant Squid, who, excuse me, whoa, got some burps for whatever reason. Just the thought of it brought a whole lot of things up. But Matt Nava from Giant Squid had an amazing stream with us on our Twitch channel talking about Abzu, and he was inspired by diving in the local coast here of California, visiting the Long Beach Aquarium. And lots of different inspiration there. So that's really one of the cool things about the aquarium too, being able to spend many hours without having to worry about your scuba tank running low, being able to spend hours with these different animals, observing them and being able to track their movements. So we had Pixar animators come and visit the aquarium back when to come up with Finding Dory things. So if you're watching Finding Dory and you see the quarantine area where the sick and recovering fish went, and the yellow railings, that's based off of the aquarium. The outside pool is 100% us, although we do not have Sigourney Weaver doing our closing announcements there.
Ruined then. Just gonna have to.
Okay, Hobbs, I got grabbed by the giant tentacle.
You got grabbed by the tentacles. Yeah, okay. I'm also doing mine puzzles right now, so yeah, I think I caught up quite a bit.
You are doing your puzzles, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mine puzzles, right. Mine puzzles, I'm doing.
I was gonna say I'm doing 9 puzzles, but spelled N-E-I-N or N-I-E-N. I don't remember which way. I'm doing none. Yeah.
I mean, if you were German, you'd be doing no puzzles if you're doing 9 puzzles.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was just like,
9.
Doing none.
Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. I'm explaining the jokes. I'm sorry. I do love. It looks like Keys is hanging out with an Anomalocaris creature there. Emily, you see that?
Yeah. Hello, little buddy.
Anomalocaris, I think, is just one of those, like, if you're gonna do any kind of bizarro ancient animal in a video game, I think Anomalocaris just goes everywhere. I discovered that Anomalocaris is in Pokemon when we were doing some Pokemon Snap on our Twitch channel. And Anomalocaris is a really awesome scientific name because it literally means weird shrimp. So.
Yep. Pat, do you know about it's a relative of Anomalocaris that was huge and was a filter feeder back in the day?
No.
Yeah.
To see her submarine
I'm gonna have to try and think of its name. It's another weird one.
Do you do this?
But yeah, at the same time that Anomalocaris was out somewhere on the seas and being a predator, you also had a relative that was gigantic and had these little like mouth parts that hung down that look almost like baleen, but it was to help it filter out little phytoplankton, zooplankton in the water. Give me a second. I'm gonna find its name.
She's gonna look it up. I'll give Baleen into it, Emily. Go and find us the answer.
I was gonna say we can give you a chance to look it up because we got to take a break here anyways. Do you want to look it up during the break, and we can come back with the name?
I found it already. It's
okay.
Agirocassis. I'm sure that I am pronouncing it completely wrong.
Agirocassis?
Yeah, it's A.
Sounds like a mechanical drink mixer.
I'm gonna type it in the chat because it's a fun one. It's
Okay, well, while you're doing that, we're gonna take a break here because we're at the next hour mark. I think this will probably be the last break. I don't know. What do you think, Keys?
Pretty sure.
I feel like, yeah, it probably will be.
I feel like, yeah.
So if somebody, I guess, Keys, you just want to count us down? Cool.
Yeah, sure. 3, 2, 1, pause.
All right.
How come every time we pause, I'm with the weird thing that moves the tentacles?
I'm fighting one of the big heads that shoots mines at you. So. But yeah, we're going to take a quick little break. We're going to stand up and stretch. Please consider going to !NBA shop.
We hit 1,500.
Whoa!
When we come back from the break, we get to show baby Rosa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woo!
That's fantastic. All right, thank you all so much. And don't forget, if you haven't had a chance, go to !NBA shop in the chat so you can check out all the merch, or !NBA donate so you can donate directly to the aquarium. Because hey, we're getting all these awesome ocean facts and stuff this week. Let's help preserve the I was gonna say preserve the organizations that help preserve the ocean. I think that would be good. We'll see you all in a few.
That's good. Woo!
And welcome back, everybody, from the break. I'm Keizaron, joined as always by JHobz. We're here with wonderful people from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which, if you haven't heard what that is, it's a nonprofit public aquarium known
We've
for
got plenty of pause.
it's known for the regional focus on the marine habitats of Monterey Bay. We are joined by Emily and Patrick, and I'll let you two kind of take over for a little bit, kind of talk about what's going on.
But first, take a look.
But
I think
first.
I'm pointing at the right spot. Take a look.
I think we were told to point this way.
What?
Take a look, everybody.
Are we pointing
did it.
somewhere?
There's the picture. We did it. That's the next inside.
We did it, everybody. We made it to our $1,500 goal here to reveal baby Rosa with her little sea star when she was a newly rescued otter pup. Rosa is now 22 years young, hanging out at the aquarium, the elder stateswoman of the sea otter exhibit. And Rosa is one of those sea otters at the aquarium that helps take care of the other rescued baby sea otters, or she's now retired since, but she helped take care of the baby sea otters that would strand along the coast of California, teach them Sea Otter 101 so they can be returned out there into the wild and help recover the coast of California's ecosystems, including the wetlands that we find in Elkhorn Slough, 20 miles north of the aquarium. And from all that work that Rosa did, we now know that returning sea otters to their environment can help recover those ecosystems. So shout out to Rosa and shout out to all of you for donating to the aquarium here for Ocean Week on GDQ. We've got my face stung up with jellies, and now cute little baby Rosa. She's a sea star, as you can see right there in the photo. So well done, everybody. Emily.
Well, speaking of sea stars, Pat, the next goal coming up is to see a photo of Pat dressed up as an anatomically correct sea star. So if you want to see the stuff of children's nightmares, we're just $250 away from that.
I want to know what that is.
We're also getting to see, I think, a 20-year-old Pat long ago.
Little baby Pat.
Little baby Pat. So that's out there too. This photo, by the way, of me being stung by jellies was taken in 2013 back in the day. So I no longer have that hair. It's all gone. Maybe related to the jellies now that I think about it. But
are we really going to blame the jellies for that, Pat?
We are going to, not the genetics.
You know, honestly, JHobz, it sounds like anytime I do something and it's just like me trying to blame something else.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just blame something irrelevant on all of your decisions.
It's a very familiar feeling I have right now.
And just if we want to blow right past the $1,750, if we can get $500 in the next hour here, we'll get to see a sea turtle butt wiggle because it loves scritches there, right, Emily?
It does. So for anyone who might be familiar with the like the viral videos of land turtles and freshwater pond turtles, like underneath like waterfalls and or like a faucet, and they're just like rocking out with their little butt and wiggling away because they're so happy about it. Our sea turtles, they feel the same way about butt scritches. And so our sea turtles get to spend time outdoors in a little sea turtle spa every now and then, and during their spa treatments and trainings, our staff as positive reinforcement. We'll give them little butt scritches, so you get to see some sea turtle turtle wiggles. A quick video of that if we hit that $2,000. So that's just $500 away. So
$500 away, almost
so
there.
Close.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep.
2,500.
And everyone in
we'll
chat can
figure
help
out.
donate towards that by doing !MBA donate. And
Yes.
you know, you're talking about sea turtles, and I remember the last time that we had you two on the show, Obs and I both shopped at the Monterey Bay Aquarium online shop, which you can
That's right.
find with MBA shop,
Right.
! MBA shop. And I actually got a cute little sea turtle plush since we're on the topic of sea turtles. It is
Yes.
currently still in a box because I just recently moved. But before I moved, it was very prominent in the back of my stream every time. And Hobbs got a couple of masks too.
Yes.
One of which I somehow
One of
have.
which is probably it's somewhere in Spokane.
Sorry.
Location unclear. But I still have the other one and I still use it every day. So they're really great.
That's turtly awesome and something to celebrate, certainly.
Well, hey, whoa, Pat, you don't want to shell out there too much. It's good.
It's true.
All right, everyone, calm your seahorses. We do have to start the race up again.
yeah.
So you know.
And
Clam your
everybody,
seahorses. Sorry.
we're here for Ocean Week for these speed runs, so that we can help raise not only awareness of the aquarium, because we've got a Twitch as well, twitch.tv/MontereyAQ. We play games incredibly slowly with a lot of commentary instead of gameplay. If you ever want to check us out over there, we also run our live webcams over there most days. If you're looking for some relax ocean and companion content for your day, that's what's going on over there. And we're also doing these fundraisers right now to help take care of our animals at the aquarium. We were closed for the last 14 months up until recently due to the pandemic, and so all of your support goes directly to help take care of our animals and continue our mission of ocean conservation. And we're here to have the speed puns to match the speed runs here during these Ocean
One's a
Week
little more
games,
effective and prominent than the other. It's the puns, if I wasn't clear enough.
It's the puns. Well, you know, you called us wonderful earlier. If we're not that, we're at least punderful. Is the
Yes. All right, we do gotta get back to the race here.
Let's go.
So let's here. I'll just count in 3, 2, 1, go.
Where
I
are
forgot
the
I was in a
puns?
boss fight.
Oh my God, my game was like frozen for a second. That was terrifying.
So these little tentacles that are retracting there on Keys' screen with your Anomalocaris friend going by next to you there, those look a lot like, if they weren't retracting there, they also look like some of the sponges that will ensnare and trap other organisms living inside of them. You may have heard of the little shrimps that live inside a glass sponge for their whole lives there. Those were appearing in a few other video games. So if you live in those shrimps are also not known to throw rocks because they live in glass sponge houses, but anyway.
Oh, I totally forgot.
I should have said not known to throw rockfish. I apologize.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
There's like 4 different things that hit me at once. What happened? I was not prepared for that. That's terrifying.
Somebody just there's an innovation in chat. We're pun raising on this stream. Yes. Thank you. Well done, everybody.
Oh, that hurt a lot. Okay.
The sponges just soak up their prey. Yes.
All
Well
right,
done,
so
homicidal
we're
folk.
getting to the deepest part of the ocean where there's giant squids and they just immediately destroy you.
Oh, the pressure's on.
Oh, I hate this.
Down in the deep.
Impassable land known as the Bone Vaults.
So this could just be for the folks who weren't watching the other streams. This was a fact that chat seemed to appreciate, so we'll put it out there one more time. But we're working on a deep sea exhibit at the aquarium called Into the Deep, and some of the stuff we're working on is trying to recreate the physical habitat that the animals are used to. And one thing we can really do is work on the water, so we can make it super cold. We can adjust the gas content that's in there, the chemistry of it. One of the things though that's really difficult to replicate is we've got a whole bunch of different extinct dinosaur bones down in here. But one of the things we can't really replicate easily is the pressure, largely because when you pressurize a tank, not only is the failure point typically the window where visitors are looking, and so we want to make sure that that hazard is mitigated, but also if you pressurize an exhibit, it can be really difficult to release the pressure or to feed the animals or clean the enclosure without releasing that pressure there. And so what we're looking for is for animals where we don't have to worry too much about the pressure. We can worry more about the lighting, the temperature, and then the different gas content in there. But out in the ocean, there are animals that live down so deep that they rely on the pressure of the ocean around them to fold their proteins in the appropriate manner so that their physiology works, basically. And so there are some animals that we've been doing research on for a long time, where it turns out that because they're no longer under pressure, there's a certain amount of time that they're comfortable with us before things just stop working physiologically, because there's not enough pressure in the water to fold their proteins and enzymes for their physiology to progress. So something to think about, those animals down in the deep parts of the ocean. That pressure, all that weight of water above them, is key to their biochemistry and their biology to function, which I just can't. If you can imagine, down in the deep sea, there's a pressure in certain areas that's like an elephant standing on a penny, and that's what the animals need to be able to function properly. It's a really wild thing. So that's why you won't see too many pressurized exhibits in deep sea environments, because that extra pressure is just really difficult to have in a public aquarium setting.
Does that explain why they're being jerks to me, though?
Yes, yeah. Do you know the kind of pressure I'm under? Yeah, they're very stressed out deep sea. I've got a meeting to go to.
This one. Okay, there we go.
But the folks out there may know that at the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean in the Marianas Trench, there was recently a discovery of a snailfish living down there. So a vertebrate hanging out in the deepest part. We already knew that there were invertebrates and other organisms that could live down that far, but to have a vertebrate down there was pretty wild. So some of the deepest parts of the ocean have life in them. And that's one of those parts, if you ever hear us say that, you know, over 90% of the living space on the planet is in the, or 99% of the living space on the planet is in the ocean, and 90+% is in the deep sea. That's why, you know, when we think about the planet, what we think about life on Earth being on the land side, that's really just 1% of where stuff can live, and we're really mostly two-dimensional in terms of life being, you know, on things that are attached to the ground. There's not a whole lot going on in the atmosphere above us. Maybe a whole bunch of atmospheric plankton of like baby spiders and viruses and other things that are going around in the air. But in the ocean, you have life from the surface all the way down to the deepest part. So that's why you know, this planet really being, we call it Earth, but it really is the ocean planet, because that's where most of the real estate is. And at this point, with housing prices in California, maybe moving into the ocean, into a defunct metropolis like you folks are gaming through right now, maybe this is where I can buy a condo at some point.
Yeah, but it'll still be like, you know, $2,500 a month for rent. Like if you,
yeah, no, exactly. And your next door neighbors are murderous squid.
Yeah. Well, funny you should mention that, because that's the cutscene I'm about to get.
Oh no!
I think. Pretty sure. Yep. Oh, there come the tentacles.
Oh, there. Yeah. What's cracking?
Hey, look, I got a whole fragment.
Hey, you finally got there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was trying to save there, but I guess not.
I do like how there's so many different save spots, though.
Yeah, I got grabbed by the tentacles finally. Keys.
All right, you're catching up.
All right, just got to get our little. I think they called it a cuddle pup. We gotta get them to follow our light here.
Cuddle pup. I love that.
Go
Cuddle pup
fetch.
is very good.
Yeah, we refer to little baby cuttlefish piles as cuddle puddles at the aquarium.
That's pretty good.
We have a few different species of cuttlefish that we grow at the aquarium, including flamboyant cuttlefish and stumpy cuttlefish. Back in the day, we had pharaoh cuttlefish, common cuttlefish, and those little babies, they like to hang out next to each other, and sometimes they just stack on top of each other. So got lots of cuddles. And
you gotta have like a new. I mean, I don't know. I would guess cuttlefish are probably not as fun to cuddle. But I was gonna say you could have the cuddle, the like day or something. The cuddle puddle basically. The cuddle
cuddle a cuddle puddle day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if somebody's doing it with their tail, it's the cuddle puddle.
The coddle puddle.
Oof. That's a lot.
Come back.
Where did that crab come from? That's so rude.
Well, as you know, you've seen the carcinization memes, right? Are you familiar with carcinization? Everything defaults to crab. That was probably a former player of this game that just went back to its natural state. Those are some of my favorite memes that people have sent us at the aquarium. Abandoned monkey, become crab. That's still one of my favorite, just doing social media for a while now. We posted a meme of just a king crab in the corner of the party. If you remember that meme of just like there's people dancing and then there's somebody in the corner. We posted one of a king crab in the corner with its party cup and hat saying, I used to be like them once. And the joke in there is that it's being crabby at a party and maybe reflecting on the youth of everybody around them still partying. But then, of course, the other joke is that it's a party goer that became crab and is now hanging out in the corner. Because king crabs are one of those not true crabs. They're closely related to hermit crabs and things like umbrella crabs, where they only have 3 pairs of walking legs instead of 4 pairs of walking legs. And so an example of a non-crab-like form defaulting into a crab-like form eventually through different evolutionary pressures there. So there's a pretty deep meme of significance if people ask us, but there's somebody on our Tumblr that went viral in their own right because we just posted that on Tumblr without any explanation just to see how much people got it. And their tumble of ours was just like, still can't believe that one of the world's prestigious marine organizations posted this with no context, and they got like tens of thousands of notes. And I was like, all right, nice.
we did it.
We did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we also had a Bernie Sanders mitten crab putting the Bernie mittens on a king crab as well. And that was a meme on how all memes eventually become crab memes of the carcinization of contents, but that was less well understood. That was mostly just for me and Emily.
We also had the what is life if not crab persevering?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we realized that what is crab if not life?
Yeah.
What is life if not crab persevering? What is crab if not life persevering? They both work. Any case.
What is crab if not crab persevering?
What is crab, baby?
Oh, I ruined that mind.
I'd like to point out that I'm back at the beginning of the game, and getting back here is way more of a pain in the ass than it deserves to be.
And for those of you who are not aware, crustaceans pee out of an orifice that's underneath their eyes. So then there's that.
Well,
so just, I didn't know how we'd get into it, but I
was gonna say that's information I wish I never knew.
Yeah. Yeah, when we did the speed run with we did another speed run pointing that out, and the runners community was just like, and we're never letting this one go. It's great.
Did you know at the upcoming SGDQ 2021 online, there's going to be a speedrun of Fight Crab?
Yes, yeah, we saw a speed run of that as well. I love that game. Emily, we're definitely playing that on our Twitch at some point.
Yeah, I got it approved. It took a little bit of persuading. Yeah.
There was something about a crab with a chainsaw running around the seafood aisle that was maybe not quite what everyone was expecting we might play on our Twitch, but I think it's awesome. Because like I mentioned before, crabs, in my experience, have 2 modes, which is peaceful and at war, so I love that.
I don't remember if I needed to be here first or... Yeah, no, not here first. Okay. A couple different paths to go here, and one of them gives us a light upgrade, and I want that one right away.
Oh, I like how there's like... Are those supposed to be plants or crinoids? They look like underwater horsetails. There. They could be crinoids, too.
Well, I gotta say, I don't think I can. I don't think I can answer that for you.
Well, come on, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm slacking.
But yeah, if you're in our local area, there are horsetails, which are one of those pre-tree plants, I believe, that you would have had back in the day. We talk sometimes about how sharks are older than trees. And so I know that trees are not necessarily like a fully realized like biological thing, but what we think of as a tree with the bark and the xylem and the phloem and all that stuff, those are predated by sharks and shark-like animals in the ocean. I think those are supposed to be crinoids, though, feather stars, stalked crinoids. And those, well, they look more like a plant, but they kind of have that same. So stalked crinoids are in a echinoderm, so they're related to sea stars, sea urchins, sea cucumbers, and those are ancient animals. Crinoids, also known as feather stars. And many of them have lost their stalk and instead have little leggy appendages on them. And they can walk around as they need to, or they can swim around, but these ones don't. But I'm pretty sure those are meant to be a plant, but they kind of look like crinoids.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, there were some. I think they're called like equisetids. I'm again gonna pronounce that
equestrian.
Name. Equestrians. Oh no. Equestria. Oh gosh, no. But the equisetids, again, I'm so sorry, chat. But there were some that were like 100 feet tall or something like that. So that could be.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. 100 feet tall.
I'm just now noticing that those are boxer crabs that we're going by.
As opposed to like UFC or or
MMA.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely not a pay-per-view boxing match, unless you feel like donating to our Testify to help us out with getting. We haven't quite reached the next few incentives. We've got a couple there in a row of seeing me dressed up as a sea star, and then potentially seeing little butt scritches wiggles from our sea turtles filmed by Susan. So.
I'm uploading that video to Dropbox right now so that it's ready to go.
Oh, you know we're getting serious when that happens.
Turtly serious.
I survived this. Oh, I don't. I sure don't. All right.
I don't.
I hope to hear that a lot more often.
I'll go the other way. I'll go the other way. No, I was telling myself I didn't try this path when I played through. Maybe it looks a little faster. No, you die. I'll go a different way. It's okay.
Okay, I remember.
I survived one hit. Then I didn't survive the second.
Oh, we just hit triple digis on puns, so
feeling
good about that. Let's go.
100%.
100%.
I almost feel like you must have toned it back or something from last.
We're not going as fast as we were before. Not only on the first day we did 183 puns in about 3 hours, so we figured that that was a lot to subject everybody to right off the bat. I don't think we need necessarily to try to hit 240 puns in 4 hours like we did that one time for the Echo the Dolphin speed run, because I think that was a lot for everybody involved. But But no, we do.
Okay,
we do
good news.
appreciate
I've
that fun.
repaired the mechanical seahorse.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh.
I need you to die a lot.
It's done.
God.
It's done giving birth.
I just got my first piece in the deep, not deep nest, but you know, whatever. It's the same place.
Yeah.
The
It's
deep
just-
nest. It looks like those squid coming after you then have the PK fire in them.
Even
to
if
come
it
out.
was too late, she would still try.
Wait, no, I didn't want to do that. Open it. Okay. Don't shoot the other thing on it. All right.
What if the Rimorosa
Oh,
was
man.
causing the destruction of the sea?
You weren't squid in there, Keys. Those are some intense critters coming after
If her
Hobbs right
father
now.
was still here,
Oh yeah.
this is
Oh,
what
yeah.
he would do.
I survived this. All right. Well, it worked this time.
Incredible.
All right.
Probably a super needless risk that I could have avoided entirely, but I didn't feel like turning around again. To be perfectly honest.
How much can laziness power a speed run too? Just like, yeah, let's give this a shot. 'cause I'm over it.
Sometimes it'll take you very far.
Okay.
Laziness is the best way to get into speedrunning. That's what the show's all about.
Exactly.
We got some love for the puns in the chat saying, as a dad, even I'm impressed. Well, as a shad, I must say. Now, Forbidden City could be multiple different types of puns. Could be Forbidden CT, like the hairs on
Why didn't I just
polychaete
warp?
worm. Could be Forbidden CT, just SEA.
Mhm.
I could have just warped. This is like one of those cases where your laziness like made it infinitely worse.
Oh,
This is a life lesson.
Yeah, I'm heading up to a warp point right now myself.
I could have just warped here.
That reminds me of my teenage years skateboarding. This is pretty much a warp tour at this point.
Yeah.
Anybody out there?
Gotcha.
Anyone?
This. Listen, I'll just put on some Blink 182 and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, Sum 41, Blink 182,
Yeah.
Alien Ant Farm. That was a pop-up video on what was that, VH1 or MTV? I forget who had that. That was what we did before watching speedruns on Twitch.
A much worse
be
time.
full of angst.
I was gonna say a like Neanderthal times, you know. It's-
Yeah. Back in my day, when I had hair and jellyfish stings.
The only thing that we did speedily was try and record it on a cassette when it came
That's
on
right.
the radio.
Quick, here it comes.
Here it
Record.
comes.
I didn't mean to have this Taco Bell ad play. Yeah, back when that Chihuahua showed up, you knew things were getting real.
I don't like this. I'm very low on health.
Do this. Yes.
Are you saying yes because you're accomplishing something or because I said I'm low on health?
Oh, it was because I was accomplishing something, but now that I know, it's for both.
Ah, very good.
It's a twofer. That was a coupon.
Yeah. It was a buy one, get one free.
Ooh, Killer Quack in the chat bringing up a good point, Pat. If we can convince the aquarium that it's not Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but it's Tony Hawk Pro Skate.
Skater. Oh,
we
he
can
was a
get
skater boy.
permission to play it.
Said, see you later, boy. It's right there.
Yeah.
Ah,
He
you
wasn't
look like
good
you're in the
enough
background.
for a turn. Sorry. That was horrible.
I feel like because I barely left the area, I'm having to redo this. And that's very upsetting. I almost died. I don't want to almost die again.
Don't change your upsetting, kids. You're watching the run. Remember back when you had the tube TVs and sometimes you could just hit them and they would work better?
See, the thing is,
Play.
until the last couple of years or whatever, speedrunners knew even better than anybody because we were probably the main population the main like customer base for CRTs.
Really?
Yeah, retro game runners would you do everything on CRTs, but nowadays you can actually get really decent like low latency upscalers and stuff. Some people are still diehard and just use nothing but CRTs. But
is that like a vinyl versus like digital FLAC discussion type thing with the CRT? Is that what it is?
I think at first it was like for a long time it was legitimate. It was more just like you got more latency if you used any tool to like convert it to HDMI or whatever. I need this stupid bomb. No,
it blew me up. It blew me up.
But nowadays it's like if you're really saying that, yeah, it's just being a little pretentious. I think unless you're just not willing to buy the $100 thing.
That was yesterday's speedrun with Debian with I forget was it Aquarium or well, yesterday's speedrun with Aquaria with Deb. He was mentioning that there was something that got fixed with him getting a better computer system. He couldn't do this lag exploit that he used to have from something else. I just find that fascinating that like you can actually have a faster speed run because of limitations of hardware being able to let you skip through stuff. That's really cool.
Oftentimes those kinds of things will even get banned in communities if they're like, if they result to things that would be just completely unfair for competition across like multiple systems and stuff. But also I remember there was a time where if you're familiar with Battle Block Theater, which is a really fun co-op game made by the same people as Castle Crashers, there was a time where in GDQ 2015, PJ and Mecha Richter were doing a run of that game on stage, and they had to use, rather than use like local co-op, they had to actually tether to their phone in order to get worse internet, so that way they could do some of the strats.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, as some social media people who work in a building made of concrete and water, we know that tethering to your phone and other Wi-Fi issues can definitely. I love the idea that it can actually help out for a speedrun. Awesome.
Okay, I think I'm on the right way. Yep.
Oh man, yeah. Everybody in the chat is comparing notes on who's the older gamer, or who had to go. Remember when you had to switch everything over to channel 3 at your friend's house and you couldn't find which remote did that?
I remember that.
You're just trying to play a little bit of N64. It's just like, how do I get it to channel 3? Which remote is it? You're like turning on the cable box and then the lights come on in the room. Like, what is happening?
The physical dial on the TV, like turning that. You're like, no.
Yeah.
All right. I have all of the seahorse things now, so I just got to find a warp point.
Oh, you're not seahorsing around. Yeah. Hey, I beat you to it by a split second there, Emily. I'm like keys on the right side and Hobbs on the left side.
I'll take it.
So close.
No. You beat me by a horsehair.
Oh man, I wish I'd remembered this shortcut on the other way. That would have saved me so much time.
Can't mess with me on seahorse puns, Emily. I'm Signathid Vicious.
No, you're just making me feel like a Signath idiot.
Oh.
I guess just going to the mall is going to be the best here. All right. It's weird. They have warp travel, like they have fast travel in this game for warping between points, but then they don't give you like very many points to warp to at all.
Yeah, it stinks.
I wanted like one for every major area, and they were just like, nah, no thanks.
Yeah. They're like, no, that'd make it too easy.
Right. So now that I got the beam upgrade, I don't need to use the cuddle pups anymore to get through these, which I don't know. I don't think it's strictly required. So Keys, I don't know if you got the.
I don't have it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you got the light upgrade. But yeah, it's nice for this section where you got to go through some of that. I don't have to wait on the cycles, but it might have been slower overall. I don't know.
Does the beam upgrade come from anybody in the game named Scotty? Beam me up, buddy. Nope.
Now, Scotty's actually the name of the cuddle pup, you know, that was making the beans.
Yeah. Gotcha.
They were tired of getting requests. They just led me to do it myself.
I need to back out of any type of Star Trek puns because I am not anybody. I don't have any other. Although my name would be Captain Quirk for how quirky I'm sorry. Is that a physics pun? Captain Quark? Has anyone
Captain
done that
Quark?
before?
No, it's actually a Ratchet and Clank character.
That is? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It is a Ratchet and Clank character.
Oh, so I owe somebody some royalties then. Whoops.
Let's just go back the way I came, I guess.
And you can help him take care of some of those royalties by donating now.
That's right. Donate now. Get Patrick out of legal trouble with donations to the aquarium. We're still at
$250 away. Yeah.
$250 away from seeing.
Oh, I want to see the scritches.
We could move the scritches over.
Move the scritches down. Yeah, we can bump the scritches down. We can just keep on dangling the.
Oh wait, no, that's right. We haven't even seen Patrick Star. Wait, no, I want to see that.
We haven't seen Patrick Star wowing the kids. But if we prefer the turtle butt scritches, we
no,
can.
I gotta see Patrick Star. I thought I got the order mixed up between the two. All right, now this.
Well, then we're $500 away in our donations, and again, these donations are going directly to the care and health of our animals at the aquarium. Feeding a sea otter costs about $19,000 per otter per year, so we are definitely getting some otter snacks.
We have 5.
We have 5 of them, and then also the rescued sea otters that come in. We're doing a lot of work. Yep. It's expensive to save the ocean, but if you folks are interested in helping us out, excuse me, can do !NBA donate there in the chat. You can also, if you would like a physical manifestation of your love for the aquarium, you can head over to !NBA shop to look at all of the awesome merch that we have for the aquarium. And if you're in the area, you can head over to MontereyBayAquarium.org and purchase some tickets to come for a visit. You can also purchase memberships that you can use throughout the year, and you'll also unlock very special member live events that are exclusive content for our members that we do online and in person. So definitely hit up our shop there if you wanted to as well. But for everybody out there who's thinking of donating or who has donated as well, just know that you are utterly awesome, and we appreciate you so very much.
You make this possible. These opportunities happen. Yeah.
You're otter this world too, as currently Hobbs and Keys are experiencing otter chaos.
Yeah. Although shockingly, no otters involved.
No otters involved. No. No, they put a Mustel lid on development of the otter character for this one.
Weaseled their way into this game.
Weaseled their way into it. Yeah. You know, most people are just like, you want an otter in this game? And people go ferret. But then after being badgered by it too much, they end up usually getting skunked. Skunks are not technically a Mustel, but they're closely related. They're closely related. They're closely related. I was in the vicinity of that fun.
I feel like I accidentally went to some giant optional area, Hobbs.
Good. Keep doing that, because I am close to dying at the end of this.
The Vicinity?
Oh, okay. Yikes.
I know that was a reaction to the gameplay and not the pun, but I'm going to take it as a reaction to the pun.
Good. Okay. Oh, thankfully. All right, I got rid of that stupid Namori mechanical thingy.
Oh, we blew past we're at $2,080 now. We just
what?
Let's go, everybody.
Go.
You are awesome. You had those donations on automatic.
Wow.
Looks like you're gonna have to.
Possible.
Anything is possible. Well, you're
That's
gonna get to
amazing.
see Patrick the Sea Star and also the Turtle Scritches. Emily, how's the upload going for the Turtle Scritches?
Upload is good to go. I dropped the link in the chat for Richard of this Scritches video. So
Abby, Patrick Gonzalez. Close enough. Pun it.
Excited to see the Patrick Star costume
let's go.
too. The funny thing is, I bet Richard's like already putting it all up, and you all can see it.
It's
but
up there right now.
I can't see it yet. I'm gonna have to look at it later.
So the kid's head on the left for the photo there of me as a sea star, the kid on the left there is like backing up with his sister as I do my interpretation, and then the parents that are cut out of the photo at the moment on the right side, they're laughing and loving it, which is pretty much the demographic that I keep hitting, where the kids are kind of running away, but the parents seem to think that what I'm trying to do is adorable. And here are the scritches.
Yeah.
The scritches. Oh, that's great. And the turtle turns around like, I would like some more, please.
Excuse me, my butt is over here. You gotta carapace yourselves with all those butt scritches, you know?
Carapace yourselves. Nice one, Emily. They're just too skewed to pass up, those turtle butts.
That's a good
just
one,
too
too.
skewed.
It just makes them feel really excellent.
I'm almost
you know?
excellent. There's barely enough room for the gameplay right now, as it should be, everybody. We're putting all of your...
with goodness.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. This is awesome. Yeah, just one more thing about the Sea Star outfit currently being hidden by one of the arms there is you could take the stomach out of the mouth of that Sea Star and show how the animal digests its food. And so what we would do is lure the kids over talking about sea stars and then ask, do you know how they eat? And it's like, oh, well, they put their stomach out of their mouth to eat their meal. And then I take the stomach out and put it on the kid, and the kid would go, ah! Be like, I don't know if that's the appropriate reaction. But then the kids always had a fun time after the fact. They wanted to dress up inside of the costume. So we have plenty of photos of the kids in the costume as well with the kids. So anyway.
That's funny. Without being able to see it, it sounds terrifying. Being able to pull the stomach out from the mouth.
Pat,
Yes.
we do have to do a quick shout out right now, because to get us over that goal there, one of our favorite people in the world and their mom donated. Susan and her mom. We play games with Susan's mom. She's the best. Thank you, Susan's mom. Thank you.
Yes.
Susan.
Oh,
Let's go, Susan's mom.
Yeah.
Moms is in the chat donating money. That's what's up, moms. Let's go.
We also have Susan's brother Christian in the chat, and my whole D&D group in the chat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
that's amazing.
Thanks, crew.
Yeah,
Thanks, Bud.
during quarantine, we've been playing a lot of Fall Guys with Susan and her brother and Emily and I. So playing some Fall Guys, and one of my favorite moments in gaming was hearing moms in the background just laughing at all the different jokes that are completely inappropriate, 21 and up, that were going on during that stream. Thank you, moms, for getting us over the edge. Now you get to see, oh, there's too much Patrick face everywhere. Let's get the butt scritches fuller screen. But no, those thank you so much for support, the Seaport, everybody, for helping us out here.
That's a double, a twofer.
A Seaport.
You take so many missiles. That's not fair. Just die already.
Oh, someone had a good question there. About why the sea turtles like having their shells scratched so much, and it's because the sea turtles, they actually have nerve endings in their shell itself, so it feels very good to them. It's just like you enjoying a good back scratch right there, and so they do little shimmies and stuff underneath when they get their shells scratched there, because they can feel it. Yeah, it's just
based on the reaction that turtles and cats and dogs have to scritches, I feel like way back in the evolutionary time when opposable thumbs and fingers showed up, there were wolves and saber-tooths and gigantic turtles that looked at that just like, this may come in handy in the future. In handy, of course. So they're just like, hey, so I have a really hard time scritching this part of my body, what with the whole flippers and shells and all. So make yourself useful over there. It's just like, oh, okay.
I do have to
And
say
that's-
that one of the best parts of what people can't see right now is every now and then Patrick and I are getting little messages from our boss who's also watching this stream right now. Shout out Anne
That's
Marie.
right. Shout out Anne Marie.
Is having her mind blown about turtle shells right now. So we're getting live reactions from our boss in the chat while we're doing this.
That's right.
Oh, I'm
You're
so sad I
killing
can't
us, Anne
see
Marie.
the scratching video right now.
Now, if there was a, I know that we're all about digital gaming systems, but I feel like a true digit gaming system would be the Nintendo Scritch.
No.
Yes.
No.
That was bad, but great.
Oh yes, I found it. The groaner.
Oh, phalanges, Pat.
But there's already a video game character named Knuckles, so it's right there.
She had prepared herself to
Nailed it. Ooh.
what she saw next. There.
I got my fingerprints all over those jokes.
Hey, Hobbs, I found Dad.
What?
No, wait, you're like done almost?
He's been alive this whole time. Did you know that?
Yay, Dad.
He's just kind of stuck in this thing.
Oh, here's the. Oh, that's a scary Kraken.
It sure is.
Something
It stole
happened
Dad.
there.
It stole Dad.
I'm in the area where you do.
I thought there was gonna be one more checkpoint, like to buy, because I have enough to get my double missiles. But
Yeah, I'm
didn't
close.
find
but I
it.
don't have enough.
I'm bummed.
I'm in the point of the game where you go through about 600 fight rooms in a row that are all basically the same.
Yep.
Except you also just have to really hope that you don't die to the mechanical things at all. Which, yeah, I was hoping I had enough to get the double missiles as well.
I do, but I wasn't anywhere close.
Oh, I'm like 140 short, basically, 135. But I'm in a fight that has a bunch of them, and it would be so useful right here.
Ouch.
I gotta say, I'm trying to figure out the anatomy of the Kraken there with the teeth, the mouth, the many eyes. I can understand.
Here's the anatomy. Pull the metal off of it, and all of a sudden it doesn't have mind control because it's being mind controlled. That's all I can tell you.
I feel like that's the opposite of like what a tinfoil hat is supposed to do, right?
Isn't it supposed to protect you from that?
Yeah.
Supposed to protect me. We've been foiled.
Oh man, that's a wrap. Oh goodness.
I basically just have to sit here and wait for my energy to restore every time I shoot one of those. Okay, there we go.
Man, I'm just
Oh my goodness.
I'm just riding an endorphin high right now from seeing people donating all the way there, and then just like watching this gameplay coming down. It's just like so many good things are happening all at once. This is really cool.
And that of course is you were riding an endorphin tail high, right? That was-
right,
or endorphin
right,
fin.
right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with like
An
an endorphin rush.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay, so
say
I have-
that too.
I have what looks like 2 more metal plates, and then the Kraken's done.
Not if
and
you
then
die.
that's the end.
You could do that, you know.
I'm not dying.
but you could though.
Please.
Well,
child's
never mind.
play.
There's
You
one of
gotta
those
remember,
metal
there's
guys,
2 of
and
the
I'm
metal
very upset.
things at the end. Yeah,
Yeah, there sure are.
they might
I hate
one-shot you. You should find out.
It hurts. Yeah, no. Don't worry. I'll find out, but not on purpose. The jellyfish are
purpose.
chasing me. It's horrible here.
I forgot.
Stop
And-
shooting me. That's rude.
And there are jellies that can chase you. We mentioned it before, but box jellies have eyes that can navigate mazes, tell colors apart, and they can definitely chase after things. So just something to be aware of.
That's terrifying.
Oh God.
Pat, how would you feel about bumping the Nudibranch goal down to 2,500? So you
Oh, we
be
can
able
we can
to-
dump the Nudibranch gold down. Yeah, to see our tasteful Nudibranch
tasteful
photos.
nudes.
The only
Our tasteful
fins.
nudes.
Yeah.
From the
OnlyFins account. That's so
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you said that.
I felt clever for that one.
Oh, you said that first, and that way it's canon. We get to say it here. We didn't come up with it as the educators. Appreciate it. But yeah, here, let me find. Okay, let me get those.
See if you can find those. I'll update our.
Yeah, let me get those.
Supply.
Let me get those tasteful. Our tasteful news.
Yes, both of the robots are gone.
No, but I'm 35 away from the double shot. And actually, I'm already down to the layer, so I'm right behind you. I ended up like getting a lot closer.
Wait, was that the last piece? Oh, yeah, that counts as one piece, huh? Oh, okay. I don't know when time is, but the boss is done.
I think you go closer to your father or something, or maybe not. That might be it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's done.
Richard might want to mark that as time.
Hey, look, it's the Insomniac
Okay,
games.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
time.
Oh, did you mash through the credits?
Hey!
Congrats, Keys. All right, I got to the final
All right.
boss. But yeah, I think I got a little too lost early on, but I definitely caught up a bunch of time.
You sure did.
Yeah.
I also got really, really stuck at certain parts.
I should have. I
Hooray.
should have gotten. There was another like little thing I could have gotten. I could have had my double shot for this. For the final fight here.
Let me tell you, I did not realize how much of a threat the robot fish were until I didn't have my double missile.
I knew
That's
because
a
I had
significant change.
way fewer health upgrades last time, so I was getting 2 shot by them in my casual. So I was like, I'm gonna be super cautious around them all the time.
I almost died, Hobbs. You almost had
You
it.
should have died.
I
We
don't
would have
know
been
about
like
that one.
tied. It would have been super close.
No, because see, lifetime up to this episode, you're ahead by 2. So
Oh,
now
am
I'm
I?
within 1. Yeah, I'm finally
But for
catching up.
Ocean Week related content, whether it be during Ocean Weeks or during our Link's Awakening, like, second step episode, apparently I'm down 0-4.
I'm invincible during Ocean Week.
At least I beat the timer while Susan.
Invincible.
I was gonna say, at least I beat the timer while Susan was around last week, because the mercy kill is against the timer, and thankfully that one went my way.
Mercy Krill.
Yeah, sorry, Mercy Krill
Yeah.
is being against the timer rather than somebody else.
Yeah, thanks for getting lost earlier, because I apparently did bad at the end.
I think the light puzzles were a big part of it, because I flew through those.
Oh, I didn't remember a damn thing about the light puzzles. I wasn't kidding when I said I was just gonna push levers. Like I literally just like pulled the mirrors and it lined up. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, no, I went pretty quick through those. Yeah, it was really just me getting lost that earlier portion, and accidentally a bunch of times. I think I wasn't like pulling up the map often enough early on.
Oh, I pulled up the map a ton.
Yeah, I started doing that, but I am on to the last phase now myself. I don't like that I have no energy. No, please stop. Something, please drop an energy refill. Nope, nothing wants to drop energy refills. Okay. Now I'm wishing I had upgraded my claw just because it would have been cheap enough where I could have done it.
Yeah, because the claw does have that stun. They're giving you a chance to like stun and run.
It doesn't really stun them so much. It was it's more just that it would deal damage and not require energy, and you could get a longer range one. So
The long range one kind of saved me when I didn't have a good boost. Like whenever you had to like hook onto the little like the other hooks so you wouldn't get pushed by the currents and stuff.
Right.
Like having the longer hook made a huge difference.
okay, I might die if I get hit again. Oh boy. No, don't hit me. That was super close. I see an
All
energy
right,
up.
the tasteful nudes photos are in processing there in the Discord. So if you folks make it to 2,500, we'll see those tasteful nudes.
Oh, that'd have to happen very quick if it's going to be on this stream, but
Let's go, everybody. Let's go.
maybe we can make it happen.
$320 away.
Maybe I'll have a lot of trouble grabbing onto this faceplate.
It's going to be really
Oh,
difficult
no.
removing that last
it won't.
piece.
I can't get rid of it. Oh, no.
it's stuck. Oh, no,
no.
Hobbs.
Oh,
Not
no.
like this.
Oh,
I've
goodness.
lost control. Oh, I dropped my
Oh,
controller.
no.
Oh, no. Wrap a towel around it. That can help sometimes.
Oh no. All right.
How long can you actually
I'm gonna
do
pull it
this?
apart. There we go. I guess that
I'm
might,
surprised it didn't pull away and smack
I know.
you.
I thought it was gonna leave. That might be time. Yeah, I think that's time. I'll let my
Time.
cutscene and stuff play since since it's the second one. Oh, man. Well,
I forgot how ugly that thing was.
Yeah.
The heavy city.
Distinguished is the right term, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no, unique.
Trench below.
Hey, look, it's Dad.
Yeah.
Raced to free her father from the
He's so
diving bell.
happy. He's like, I'm not dead.
Falling down all around her.
Yay!
Merrin grasped her father's hand.
Oh, and also they have magical conch shells. Or I don't even think they were conch shells. I think they were something else. But they.
Oh no, we got squished. We're dead.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh wait, just kidding. Good thing we saved that baby Leviathan.
Yeah.
Because its mom is here.
No, I was gonna say it grew up in 2 minutes. Oh wait, no.
That's what,
Could you
that's what I'm
imagine?
saying. Shout out to moms. Shout out to moms.
Let's go, moms.
Let's go,
Shout out to
moms.
moms.
Yeah.
Is
Go.
this your mother, Swish?
Got some dubs in the chat for moms.
Swish just wagged his tail.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for watching, for donating, for if you bought anything from the shop, or if you went to twitch.tv/MontereyAQ, if someone wants to post that in the chat, and followed, please do that. They got a lot of great content going on over there. And thank you so much, especially to Emily and Pat for being on with us yet again. It's been a blast every time we've had you on before, so we're glad to do it again.
I don't know if you two are stuck with us forever or if we're stuck with you two forever, but
Well, the thing that definitely needs to happen is, if we can ever make it happen, is to host you both over at the aquarium. Love to show you around. That invite is always out there to all of you. Thank you so much. It's so much fun watching you all do your work, getting through the games as quickly as possible, and then letting us pun over it. It's just so much fun. What a delight! And from the messages from the boss, she seems to be loving it too. So thank you so much for all of that.
The healing is mutual. Yeah.
Oh, nice, Emily. Nice.
Well, yeah, thank you all again so much. And also just to, bring it back to the point of the show normally and stuff, that was way faster than either Keys or I did in our first, because it took each of us about 5.5 hours.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And this time it was, I didn't see what the final time was, but 2 something, I imagine. 2:49, yeah. So less than half as much time. Speedrunning is really, it's not this thing that is inside this or behind this invisible barrier or whatever of gaming skill and prowess. No, it's all about just going at it with a mentality of trying to go fast, and then just practice and just a lot of overtime. But you could have a ton of fun in speedrunning even if you never want to practice and get good at it. So highly recommend people get into speedrunning by just, trying to pick up a game that you've played a bunch and play it again, but faster. And then just do that a few more times, and eventually you'll have a world record. That's how easy it is. That's awesome.
yeah, that's how we've done it in the past when we weren't washed up.
Yeah. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Question marks. Pop it.
Well, thank you all once again. ! NBA donate, ! NBA shop if you want to check out the donation link and the shop for anything that you can buy from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Thanks again to Pat and Emily, and don't forget that Ocean Week is not over. Tomorrow, Super Boss Bros is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, they're going to have Dragon Blitz and Eldritch Mecha, which is an awesome name. They're going to be facing off in a series of video game challenges and stuff with some more Ocean Week related stuff. So please tune in then, and we'll see you all next week. Thursday, 7
Before we go,
Oh, go ahead.
We forgot to mention the game.
Oh yeah, we know.
That would've
That's
been
a thing
really
we normally
important.
do.
Yeah, we normally mention the game so you all know what to look forward to. So we've kind of emphasized a little bit the past couple of weeks that you don't necessarily even have to finish the game to play it fast. And I anticipate that's going to be the case with
very,
this
very
game, 'cause
important factor.
there's no way in hell we're finishing it. It's basically going to be as far as we can get, but we're actually going to pick up Final Fantasy Tactics Advance DOS.
Yeah, number 2, a DS game, because I speedran the first one a fair amount, and also it's a very fun and horrible speedrun. It's got a lot of randomness in it, but it's very fun. So we wanted to. It's been a while since we've done an RPG, right? I think that was the big driving factor. Was we haven't done an RPG in a long time. We've never done a tactics.
We're almost certainly
game.
not finishing this one,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah, there's pretty much no way. But we're gonna give it our best shot, see how far we get. Probably come up with some arbitrary goal and see who can beat that goal the fastest. So we'll see you all next week. And yeah, thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks,
See you soon.
everyone.